Yeah, I can hear myself.
I can hear, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I can hear the guys.
Yeah, all good.
Perfect. Right, guys, can you hear me? Upstairs? Upstairs, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Adam.
Yeah, all right, I just need to tell you some information that I've got. Right, the blackout that's happening now is before the intro video.
I'm not in this until you call me in, am I?
Yeah, no, I'll introduce you.
Yeah, yeah, oh no. I just, oh yeah, that's fine.
Good evening and welcome to our live coverage of this evening's Ice Hockey Varsity as the 2018 competition gets underway. Thank you for joining us live here on Forge Sport, Forge TV and Forge Radio as we bring the ice hockey to your television screens and radio stations. Now, we're usually accustomed to this event being the showcase finale, but this year it's slightly different as it's the opening ceremony for what should be a fantastic few weeks of excellent university competition as the University of Sheffield look to make it 6 straight varsity wins against Team Hallam. Now, even though the University of Sheffield have that outstanding record, they've never actually beaten Team Hallam in varsity. Now I'm joined by David and Scott. Now, Scott, you have plenty of experience here. You played for Team Hallam before in varsity. How will the players be feeling as they're warming up here?
Right now, the players, the nerves will be kicking in. They can hear the fans in the crowd stomping their feet, clapping their hands. And the guys, this for them is the closest to playing professionally that a lot of these guys will face. So right now, the nerves will be going, the emotions will be running high, the pre-game routines and superstitions will be well underway, and they'll be eager to get out on the ice.
Now, before we get proceedings underway, we're going to have a minute's applause for Dan Porter, who was Sheffield Hallam's former head of sports services. He passed away last month, sadly, after fearlessly battling cancer on several occasions over the last 10 years. He established the Danny Porter Foundation, which is a 2018 official varsity charity, and he raised over £250,000. So a great effort from him, and our thoughts go out to his family and everyone involved. So we'll let you know when that's happening. But David, the atmosphere here is electric, isn't it? You know, the players were really looking forward to getting this underway.
Absolutely, this will probably be one of the highlights of their years, not only academically but also sporting achievements, and no one wants to be the one that's going to mess up to lose the game for their team, so all the players are going to be on edge for those first few minutes as they look to find their feet on the ice. And now, as a first year, it's your first taste of varsity, isn't it? What's the buzz been like around university, you know, in the build-up to this and today as well before the game? It's been absolutely incredible. On the tram on the way here, you have all the university students from both sides sort of giving each other banter. You can see we have the on both sides as well. It's going to be absolutely incredible. The atmosphere now, the crowd is overwhelming. It's going to be a really good night. And Scott, you know, fans turn out in their thousands, don't they? Ice hockey is starting to be a really sort of mainstay in UK sport at the minute.
Absolutely, it's on the up, it's booming, participation's increasing, the numbers in the stadiums going to the games is increasing, and the varsity is massive. It is the fixture on the calendar that everyone looks out for. They'll mark it off on the calendar, and everyone will look forward to it. And the attendances year on year have improved, and it's been phenomenal. And the uptake of the sport in Sheffield as well, with the grassroots all the way through to the Sheffield Steelers. Everyone in Sheffield loves ice hockey, so it should be a great night.
And why do you think ice hockey is such a popular sport?
Well, for me, it's the most physical contact sport in the world. It's the fastest team sport in the world, and it's just the adrenaline rush. The players out there are skating around at 20 miles an hour. You've got guys who are 6'5", 14 stone, skating into each other, and the crowd, you know, they feed off of it. The crowd really generate the excitement on the ice for the players, and that just shows the emotion that the players play with. So for me, it's a great sport to watch, it's a great sport to play, and the viewers and the listeners are in for a treat tonight.
And David, now it's kind of unique in this event that both of these teams, you know, play with each other throughout the season, but they're competing against each other today. They're going to leave nothing on that ice rink, are they? Yeah, I think there'll be absolutely no love lost this evening. You have to look at some of these players. They've played with each other for several years here at uni, and some of them are staff as well, so they may even teach them. So it's going to be interesting to see how that rivalry plays out on the ice. And Scott, is that difficult to go from being clubmates and teammates to competing in such a stage and environment as this?
Not really, because when you're playing together throughout the year, you are good friends. You play together at Sheffield Bears. There's various levels from the A team right through, and they play together for 364 days a year. And then that one day, you put friendships aside, allegiances aside, and you go out there and you battle for the emblem on your shirt. And really, there is no love lost. Some people think the fighting is staged. I can tell you now, it is not staged. Some of the guys will go out there and they will want to, you know, draw blood. They will want retribution, and they will want to make each other pay.
And it makes for that great spectacle, doesn't it, David? That we're all, you know, thousands have turned out tonight for a reason. It will be a fantastic match.
Yeah, well, we've got 8,000 in the stands here, 4,000 from each side. They're going to be cheering on their team. They're going to be booing the opposition. It's going to be an absolutely great night. And like I said, no one wants to make that first mistake.
And there's a lot of different fixtures now, a lot of sports to get underway in the next few weeks. Are you looking forward to seeing what Varsity 2018 has to offer?
Yeah, I think it would be good to look at some of the more lesser-known sports. You have things like korfball and water polo that during the year people might not think about too much, but people will show up at those events cheering on their respective university, and then each and every athlete competing is going to want to pick up the points to their side.
And Scott, because the teams play with each other for Sheffield Bears throughout the season, does it make it difficult to call as a game?
Sometimes it can do. The players, though, they'll be feeding off the adrenaline. I can tell you now, the players, the adrenaline will be flowing. And when you're out there, like I say, friendships, allegiances, that doesn't matter. I wouldn't say really gets difficult. It's probably more trying to keep the emotions, intact and trying not to take penalties through, being a bit careless or being a bit overzealous. So it's more trying to keep the emotions intact and under a lid.
And there were slight concerns, when this was moved from the closing event, that big closing ceremony, to the first event. But it definitely hasn't seemed to detract from the spectacle. And it seems like it's kept that same interest that it had previously.
Yeah, you can certainly argue that having it first works even better because you have one of the biggest crowds at any varsity event. They're going to be cheering on their team, and you think this is the curtain raiser. This is going to set the tone for the rest of varsity. Whoever wins this event tonight has the momentum going forward.
And of course, the final at Hillsborough Stadium, home of Sheffield Wednesday this year, that would be another great opportunity for Sheffield University students to really showcase their talent on such a big stage.
Yeah, it's fantastic as a city of Sheffield that we have these great arenas that we can compete in, and obviously these guys aren't professionals, they're still university students, so it's also fantastic for them to experience what it's like playing at the top level.
And as a player, Scott, these types of opportunities in this atmosphere is why you're a player, isn't it? It's why you do what you do.
Absolutely. I mean, speaking personally, playing in varsity for 4 years straight has definitely been a highlight to my ice hockey career. And, it's memories you don't forget when you stood on the blue line, you're hearing the national anthem, you look around the stands, you see the faces, you see the family there. It really sets home how important this fixture is for the players and for the people in the stands as well watching too.
And obviously it's 3-1 to University of Sheffield at the minute. Another opportunity for University of Sheffield to kind of keep eking as they seek that 6th straight crown, because they won't want to give up that title on a whimper, will they?
No, they won't, and that's the thing. The fact that they've won it so many times in a row, it's important that they keep their heads up and they keep going forwards and they try and push to win another one. Obviously, this match is only worth 1 point, so it's not all won on this night.
So we're just going to hand over to the minute's applause for Dan Porter, the former Sheffield Hallam's former head of sports service, who sadly passed away last month. He raised over £250,000 for charity, and we'd like to offer our sincere condolences to his family and everyone connected with Team Hallam. So we'll just pass you over to that minute's applause now.
As many of you may be aware, there is a very proud member of the Sheffield sporting family who unfortunately can't be with us this evening. Sheffield lost a sporting icon when Dan Porter, the head of sports services at Sheffield Hallam University, sadly passed away in February. For over 2 decades, Dan was a driving force for the development of sport and physical activity at both Sheffield Hallam, the city of Sheffield and the wider Yorkshire region. After being diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, Dan set up the Danny Porter Foundation, which has since raised in excess of £100,000 for charity. And in 2016, Dan was honoured with an MBE for services to education and fundraising. We are proud and honoured this evening to be joined by Dan's father David, his wife Kerry, and their 2 sons Joe and Ben. And we would ask you, as a mark of respect and admiration, to join us in a minute's applause which will start and end on the whistle of tonight's referee, Andy Miller. Impeccably observed. You are super. Thank you so much. With both teams on their respective blue lines, could I ask you all to please stand and remove any headgear for the playing of the national anthem.
You didn't hear that, that was a rousing response there as the players returned to the ice before face-off. Now, Scott, Hallam have been very successful in this competition so far in the last 5 years. Do you expect that to kind of continue tonight?
Yeah, I think Hallam will be full of confidence. They've certainly got the advantage going into this, knowing that they have Sheffield, University of Sheffield's number, so they'll be full of confidence tonight. There aren't many players who previously played in the last couple of years. There's a lot of new faces, Joe Colton, guys who play for Sutton, and there's a lot of new faces for the Hallam team, but they will know about the rivalry, they will know about the pressure, the atmosphere and the occasion, so they will be pumped up, as will University of Sheffield. They'll be wanting to put on a spectacle, a great crowd.
Okay, and we're ready to throw over to Tim Adams and Sam Burkett, who will bring you live commentary of the first period.
Well, thank you, Adam. Welcome here to the Fly DSA Arena. It was just under a year ago when the University of Sheffield won last year's varsity on the lush green AstroTurf of Goodwin. Tonight, it's a different setting, but it's the same competition. Here we go. We have been waiting for this for such a long time. What is usually the finale is now the opener, but the teams stand, the colours stand, the crowd stands, and obviously co-commentator Stan and Sam Burkett. What are we looking forward to tonight then?
I think it's going to be I'm not sure how close it'll be. Hopefully it'll be closer than last year where Hallam won out 6-3. But I think it's going to be a good close match. I believe I believe the whole of the Sheffield team did quite well in books this year.
The University of Sheffield in the last 5 years have not beaten Team Hallam. Hallam have won 5-4, 5-2, 2-1, 4-3, and last year won 6-3. So, in terms of form, on paper, this is going to be a one-sided affair, you think?
Yeah, definitely. Uni do have it against them. But I think also Uni have a slightly older team, but that could mean they're more experienced. But then again,
well, here we go. We are live on Forge Sports, Forge TV, Forge Radio. Here we go. University of Sheffield shooting from left to right on their traditional yellow and black. Hallam in their traditional maroon and white
Varsity Ice Hockey is ready
from
to
right
go.
to left. Here we go. Face-off about to begin. We've waited under a year for this to go, and it gets underway. The University of Sheffield lead 3-1 from Winter Varsity. Remember, they need 40.5 points to regain the title, so to retain the title this year.
Hallam do look to have quite a lot of control in the opening minutes of this, always keeping it in the Uni of's defensive zone, although Uni have just broken out a lot.
Well, Joe Colson is up front as one of the centres for Hallam. We'll see Hallam already going through there, and that was Charlie Saunders, number 16. We see Hallam already in terms of imposing the space on the ice, that they can gain the initiative so quickly. They will likely gain the momentum because of the confidence, I guess, they've got from previous years.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Uni of do look to have the bigger crowd here at the moment, so they do have. Oh,
there we go there.
Just moving it across the. No, nice attempt at a cross there, easily cleared by the. I believe it was.
Well, Hallam have Joe Colson, Nathan Dorian, number 20, up there as well. So in terms of formation, they will believe that their left winger, right winger, and centre can through previously. We see the crowd already rising, the noise reverberating around the Fly DSA Arena.
Definitely. Unioff trying to move it forward a little bit, but he is kind of edged out there with a nice kick.
Stuart Sullivan, number 20 for the Union Sheffield down that left-hand side. They're working it in behind the Hallam goal there. It's quite a physical game, and you can see a challenge already, and the fans respond to like. I suspect we'll be seeing more of that as this game goes along. And again, that was
just a nice love tap against the sideboard there.
Just a bit. But Jake Renzi for the University of Sheffield, with partnering with Colin Glansby, I think, as well. But Renzi has lost possession out and currently on the puck for Hallam, but again, possession's regained. As we see a little nudge there from Ross Gallagher for Team Hallam. Uni Sheffield with the puck at the minute, playing a game really at the minute where they're just looking to place the puck into the Hallam end, trying to gain ground in that sense. But Hallam with a dazzling run there from Jamie McGrath, but Jamie McGrath cannot get that, and we see Uni of Sheffield now in the neutral zone, across into the Hallam defence zone there. Hallam again with the puck there, great save that from Callum Stevenson, the netminder for the Uni of Sheffield. He could be a busy man tonight, and again Stevenson pushes that puck behind with his left leg there. Fast-paced, frenetic, frantic, Sam, and what you'd expect from a traditional varsity opener.
Ooh, that was a big challenge on number 27 there by number 41 of Sheffield.
Will Payne, that is, for Uni of Sheffield.
So Hallam move it after being swarmed by the Uni of defenders. The defending team, they have regained. Uni of have regained it, and a quick sprint into the Hallam defense behind
Max
the Hallam
Jerriston hunting down McGrath there for Team Hallam. And again we see a challenge, and again the crowds rise alike. This game's so fast-paced that you could barely believe how quick it is. But I guess if you watch so much ice hockey, obviously the Sheffield Steelers play here at the Fly DSA Arena, and a lot of this crowd would have watched the Steelers play from the game, so they would be well rehearsed. But we see there the shot came in from Dominic Martin, and that was a stunning stop from Stevenson. Uni of Sheffield were under all sorts of pressure early on here, and again another physical challenge. Matt Unwin regains possession, and the play is stopped. I think there was a bit too hefty, that one there.
Yeah, just a little bit. So now it's going to be reset into one of the face-off zones.
So Sam, what do you make of the start so far? Hallam definitely imposing themselves in terms of the acceleration, the drive, especially from their wingers, looking to get the centre involved in, looking to get Dominic Martin, who's the centre for Hallam, involved in that kind of area. But Uni of Sheffield have responded more defensively.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Hallam seem to have the upper hand with their first lineup, although the lineups have now switched. But then Uniov have been having some really good counter-attacks, some nice kind of probes into the Hallam defence.
Well, don't forget, this game is 3 20-minute periods. 60 minutes. If the score is level after 60 minutes, we will go to overtime, and if it's level after overtime, you enjoy that. It's a shootout. As we see Hallam just settling the pace of this at the minute, as we see Jake Renzi
just passing it around.
Union of Sheffield regain the puck, and they will regain the puck quickly. They will look to drive this Hallam team. Jordan Sullivan with the shot, but it's blocked by the Hallam defence there. Another finishing, very physical challenge there, but Hallam do regain possession of the puck into the neutral zone. There we see Sullivan looking to drive down the far side from us in the commentary box there. The Union of Sheffield again regain possession. Both sides at the minute struggling to keep possession after a very, very frantic start.
Yeah, definitely. It's very changing quite a lot. With some, I think, just maybe nerves setting in a bit. So they're doing, they are having both a couple of challenges, but the shots do seem to be coming, as Hallam did make a very nice shot.
Well,
there.
you see two Union of Sheffield players down there in their own defensive area, but the puck is currently on the other side of this 30-metre by 60-metre rink. It's the traditional international standard, as they say, in terms of distance, but Hallam again quick to the puck. Again, the Union of Sheffield. It's becoming a tale, this, where Union of Sheffield are just getting last-ditch challenges in, and they've got a chance here with Max Jerriston. But again, Hallam, in the end, gets the puck, and we go to a bit of a stop issue with the music, Sam.
Yes, I believe that is another face-off, I believe, and as I believe the lineups are changing on again. I didn't actually see the reason for that face-off, but.
So Sam, what do you think the University of Sheffield's game then has to be here? Because they have been on the defensive end for a lot of this match. How do I say that? Because Hallam on the attack again and again. Stevenson, from what our view looks like, just about manages to save it. But what's happening now is probably the first real altercation of this match. And in all fairness, I think we can suspect that, given the type of ferocity of sport it is. Yeah,
definitely. Once you get in there, get a couple of challenges against you, your blood rises a bit.
I was just quickly say before that, though, how do University of Sheffield go about defensively at the minute, because they are under the cosh in terms of where they are possession-wise on the rink at the minute. So how would you think that they go about that?
I think they just have to keep their defence is doing very well at the moment. Always managing to tackle Hallam's offense, but maybe try and get a bit faster on the counter-attacks there, and maybe just trying to get more passing and blocking those passes.
Well, the game has settled down a bit so far. Max Jerriston, who's been quite influential for the University of Sheffield in this game, especially in defence.
Definitely.
And the fact he's a winger as well actually says something. The fact he's actually having to track back and actually help in the defence says something. But he's been coaching for 16 years, so potentially that experience is not surprising in that sense. Union of Sheffield with the puck into one of the Hallam face-off areas there, the green face-off area on the far right, but the puck whisked away to the left-hand side of the rink. 12 minutes to go until the end of the first period, 8 minutes into this match so far, and it is currently University of Sheffield 0, Hallam 0.
And as the puck is moved back into the Hallam's defensive green face-off zone, due to, I believe it was an icing, Hallam pushed the puck into behind Uni's goal line without anyone touching it. Uni regained back against their goal line, just pushing it forward. Moving up on our right-hand side, but I believe it has now been pushed all the way over to the far side and back to Hallam.
So if they are icing, Sam, how would you say, what does that say about Hallam's mindset if they're having to ice where they have the puck across the red centre line essentially, and then across the red goal line of the Union of Sheffield, that they're actually having to force where they are on the rink to actually get into a position where they can challenge? Yeah,
it means that Uniov are putting up a very good defence, which means that Hallam are having to make those riskier plays to try and find an opening. Luckily, it hasn't cost them, hasn't made an interception and cost them anything on the defence yet, but
Well, we see the Union of Sheffield with the puck at the minute. That is number 38, Solomon Smith. Solomon Smith still going.
Centre.
Smith, did he lay off the puck? No. Hallam in the end managed to whisk that out to the neutral zone and come up into Union of Sheffield's own defensive zone there. But that was well wide of the goal. And Stevenson, who has been probably the best player for Union of Sheffield in this match, was fantastic. But here, Union of Sheffield going through!
Yes! That is the first goal of the game there.
What a start to the black and gold. An unbelievable move that. Direct as you can get. Sam. Stunning start.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, so that was a great start. Managed to go around all the defenders, find a little hole in the middle, then just play it past the goalkeeper. Yeah, just nice, clean goal there.
Stunning start there for the University of Sheffield. Remember, they haven't won this competition, this individual ice hockey match for a very, very long time. Hallam have won the last 5 years. But a stunning start there. And they will be hoping that Will Payne's goal there, as it is announced over to the whole Payne. He's been on circuit for 6 years. Experience and understatement. Second year at Varsity, he made his debut last year, and that is a fantastic return.
Definitely. That's one of the kind of 6 years is actually one of the lesser experienced players here. Many of them have been playing for 10 years or more. That is a great start of the game. Going off into
a face-off into the University of Sheffield's defensive area there. Hallam, that's number 19. That's Joe Colton looking to.
Nice passing.
Oh, I tell you what, that nearly went in. That Joe Colton, little touch back to Charlie Saunders there, but Saunders could not make the puck visit the corner, and it would have been 1-1 in that sense. Union of Sheffield looking just to make sure that they can gain the territory here. Just push back a tad. Emrys sharp as Farrar for Hallam. The captain, Dominic Martin, but Martin loses possession, and Adam Wood will happily pick that up. Union of Sheffield just on the far side. They're looking to whisk that puck into the neutral zone. They put it from left to right, and now Gareth Pyrie loses out possession there, and Matt Unwin for Hallam has the puck on the right-hand side, the far side from us, but Union of Sheffield again.
Offense on his own there, but no, just resetting it a little bit into the centre zone and pushing it back. Unioff still have the puck, pushing it through the... No, didn't manage to connect there. Hallam have it on the reset behind their goal line.
Jerriston who lost possession there for the University of Sheffield, but they do. That's a mistake. That's a really bad mistake. Can they work this through? No, and in the end, the goalminder for Hallam there just about made sure that that was not 2-0. But I tell you what, after the University of Sheffield being so much under the cosh early on in this match, what's the response?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a very aggressive. Like as I said, once they managed to get those counter attacks in, Hallam have actually been a lot on the defensive of this after that goal. Union of Sheffield managed to make a lot of breaks there. Just as you can see with that almost goal.
I'll tell you what, the puck there had to be whisked away very, very, very quickly, and Gabriel Rozboskas in the end lost possession when he actually mattered. And I'll tell you, again we see Matt Unwin there from Sheffield Hallam. Jerry Tang on the right, Jerry Tang the forwards for the Union of Sheffield, nearly in again. But Hallam now, it's their turn for some of these last-ditch challenges, because the Union of Sheffield here in the neutral zone. Max Jerriston on the right-hand side, burst acceleration from him, has control of the puck, looking to get that into a position where they can challenge, but in the end it will be Nathan Dorian to pick it up for Hallam, but the Union of Sheffield place the puck back into the Hallam goal zone there. Another very physical challenge. I think you can expect a lot more of those in this match. And Dominic Martin, the captain, driving forward to the right-hand side. Martin looks to get the shot away, and Stevenson in the end managed to claw that puck just off the line. Remember, all the puck has to go across the line for it to count it as a goal. Jerriston for the Uni of Sheffield, dispossessed, but Uni of Sheffield do win it back on the right-hand side there. Jerriston still with the puck there. Just trying to force it into an area where, again, the University of Sheffield can get a clear eye on goal, but they don't. Game opening up a bit, Sam, here.
Yeah, Hallam have now, once they've kind of recovered from that setback of the goal and are making quite a few good offensive plays. They are kind of swarming a bit around the puck, although they do manage to break through on centre. Nice cross attempt.
Crucial challenge, because Unwin was behind. I think that was Gareth Perry for the University of Sheffield, just about getting that puck away with the stick. Hallam, though, in possession of the puck now as they move into the central zone from right to left in the famous maroon and white colours. Fantastic run this from Lewis Jones, the number 53 for Hallam, but in the end, Uni of Sheffield do regain possession of the puck. And a drive there from Will Payne, who has scored the only goal of this game as we are 7 minutes away from the end of the first period now. Another very, very hefty challenge that, as we see Will Payne now on the left-hand side, switching wings, and I guess the fact that Payne is switching wings, that transitional play could help the University of Sheffield, makes the attacks a bit more flexible and a bit more unpredictable, really.
Yeah, definitely. Like, once you've... as that was a nice challenge there into
Alex came with a shot there.
Yeah, I think it makes things, if it makes things more unpredictable, you don't know which side he's going to go on. Makes it a lot more difficult to defend against, especially when if you go around the back and switch behind the goal and then switch and then.
Sebastian Ronsky there in defence, looking to move the puck up the pitch, but he moved a bit too soon there, and in the end, Ross Gallagher could not get possession of that puck. As the Uni of Sheffield in the famous black and gold stripes. Wow, fantastic pass there, but a very, very stable defensive challenge there. But a very, very nice switch across the rink there. And I guess the University of Sheffield, in terms of the tactics, will be looking in terms of that. So I see a penalty there.
Yeah, definitely. Just from, I believe it was grabbing the stick of one of the Hallam players.
I think that was the case, yeah. You can see the replay on the big screen there. Yes, so that was the case. So it should be a minor penalty. It's only 2 minutes, and obviously, if the University of Sheffield or Hallam score a goal in that time, then the penalty time is reduced in that sense. So, yeah, 2-minute penalty there. Slight infringement, but they are the rules.
Yeah, so Hallam will have a power play now, I believe.
Yeah, Hallam have a power play, so it'll be a face-off into the University of Sheffield's defensive zone. So one thing the University of Sheffield will be looking to do here, actually, is to make sure that they can work essentially what's called a penalty kill, where you are defending for such a long time, and you have a lot of your players into that zone, because it is such a fast-paced game and there are so many routes to goal. Is that in that sense it's a very, very good idea, and it's been around for a long time. But,
just kind of stalling out the penalty until you can get back onto full
pretty
strength.
Pretty much. We see another challenge there, but Unwin with the puck there for Hallam, as they will look to take initiative of this, and they have. Joe Colton equalises.
That was a very nice pass. So it came from just behind the goal to the side, managed to cross it right across the front of the goal, straight into the unexpected other side of the goalkeeper there. Very nice, very clean, straight through one of the Uni Of's defenders' legs.
Well, so much for a penalty kill, eh? 1-1 on the night. Joe Colton, the number 19, with the goal there, as we see Matt Unwin with the assist.
Okay.
But a very good response there, Sam.
Oh, definitely. Although it does mean, I believe Uni of Sheffield are back now onto their full strength.
Yeah, well, as I said, if the goal is scored in that power play, then the time is reduced. As we see the tannoy there, just confirming that Colton did score that goal. Stevenson has been pretty University of Sheffield's best player in this match so far. It's a taster, I guess, of the type of the match that has occurred, but
Couldn't do much about that, could he?
No, not really. As Uniov tried a nice offense there, but he was pretty much in the offense alone against 3 of Hallam's defenders. Although Uniov, that was a nice cross across the front of the goal there, but just couldn't turn around and convert it.
Well, in this fast-paced, frenetic and frantic affair, we already see a response from the University of Sheffield. We nearly do there. Hits the post and bounces out to the despair of those in black and gold on the rink and the black and gold fans here. Hallam will be very relieved about that.
Yeah, definitely. That was very close. Just only missing by inches there, just past the left hand of the goalie who'd gone forward to save it. But now are we having another face-off, I believe, on the left-hand side of Hallam's defensive zone.
So currently University of Sheffield 1, Team Hallam 1, as we are just 4 minutes and 31 seconds to the end of this first period. A face-off in the Hallam defence zone there, looking to work the puck through the neutral zone there. Burst of acceleration this from Tom Patty, but in the end just could not control the puck when it mattered. But that's a very, very bad pass and give it away there. A shot comes in from Ross Gallagher. Stevenson held on to that quite well, and in the end University of Sheffield to our near side on the left hand side. Just a few niggles there at the minute. So I think any ice hockey match should expect that. Just trying to make sure that their position is good at the minute. Hallam looking to win essentially the second puck. If there's a loose puck, they will look to capitalise on that. But University of Sheffield's done well there. They're just working the puck into territory where they can know that they can capitalise with 3 minutes and 50 on the clock, as we have YMCA around the arena, and you can see all the fans with the famous shapes of that song as it comes along as well. So it's a great atmosphere, and I guess you'd expect that. 8,000 here at the Fly DSA Arena.
Yeah, it's great as the action comes underway, and just a shot goes wide, I believe, just there. Now on the far side, Uniov in the black and gold on the offense, just battered down with a hand there. But I believe that is another foul, going to be causing another face-off there.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what was through the minds there, but to bat down a puck of ice hockey is something he technically cannot do. So I think that was pretty more of a tactical decision rather than anything else. So pretty more instinctive. But as we see a face-off to in the neutral zone there on that red spot to the right-hand side of our comms box. University of Sheffield with the puck at the minute. Hallam with possession of the puck into the neutral zone, looking to sift it through there. And in the end, Solomon Smith regains possession for the Uni of Sheffield. Smith working it wide across the neutral zone into Hallam's defensive zone there. But again, the game settled down, and again, both sides will look to gain the initiative by working the puck through the channels. With another physical challenge on that left-hand side. Gareth Peary involved there for the Uni of Sheffield. Hallam with possession of the puck, as we see Joe Colton, who equalised for those in maroon, looking to get it into Unwin, and Unwin hits the post for Hallam, as we've had both sides now score a goal and hit the post. Uni of Sheffield with possession of the puck, and this game can change so quickly. How crucial could that miss be? Well, I'll tell you what, potentially not, because it's just given the ball away in the middle of the neutral zone there, and those in black and gold fans will be thinking, oh great, again we got into a position. And that's occurred there, but very, very good from Nathan Doran. Stevenson saves again, and Doran, it was such a powerful shot there that Stevenson ended up. Stevenson ended up on the floor, and so did Doran, as we see University of Sheffield nearly reply for themselves. But Doran now on the right-hand side into Hallam's centre there, but in the end whisked away again by Stevenson. Stevenson, aged 20. Well, he's having a performance at the minute of a Sheffield Steelers netminder. I think that's how influential he's been in this match so far. As we see University of Sheffield to the left-hand side now, just looking to work through the channels as Hallam press up through their defence there. Just in terms of territory, it's not looking great for the University of Sheffield here, because I say that because Hallam do regain possession of the puck, looking to whisk it to the left-hand side now, and again a few physical challenges there, Sam.
Yeah, Uni of do seem to be making a couple of mistakes. Maybe now it's equalised. They got a couple of nerves are getting to them a little bit, or maybe just with only 1 minute 20 left in the period, they're getting a little bit tired.
Well, we just saw Michael Zalossi on the pitch for Hallam to the left-hand side there, and in the end, I say that Stevenson in the end parried that puck. He must have been thinking, my word, this is a moment which I should be saving pretty well, and then in the end just fumbled it, but got away with that.
Yeah, definitely. At least there was no one from, as we see the replay there, just as long as see no one, Hallam just tripping right over the goalkeeper there. But if he'd have been just a little bit behind, maybe he could have got off that shot.
Well, I should say before Stevenson saved that Michael Zalossi, sorry, from the University of Sheffield, sorry, as we saw him just a few moments ago, he's aged 47, he's Canadian, he's played on and off for 43 years.
Wow.
In terms of experience, I don't think you're going to get better than that.
Yeah, no. That is definitely quite a lot of experience. As
we see there a penalty for Hallam. 2-minute line infringement there, which means they'll have to go into a penalty kill here. University of Sheffield looking to gain the initiative here because of Hallam's penalties, and they nearly do, and that was a very, very good save in the end. But
as we go back to another face-off, I believe.
Ross Gallagher with the 2-minute penalty again, and as we see, as we saw in the last power play, Hallam took that initiative and found the net. Can the University of Sheffield do the same here? We've got 55 seconds to the end of this first period. Oh, they nearly do. My word, that was close.
Just crossing across the front of the goal there, and Hallam looked to capitalise on that, and that is, I believe, another, just reaching the hand up, grabbing the puck.
Again, you've been tactical. Gareth Pirrie with the shot there for the University of Sheffield, inches wide there. 40 seconds to go until the end. 40 seconds to go until the end of this period. At the end of this, we will have a 15-minute break. But here we see a face-off into the University of Sheffield's defensive zone. Uni, with this power play, will look to gain a very, very important mark in terms of momentum and mindset. I guess if they do score in these 30 seconds, how important could that be going into the last two periods?
Yeah, definitely. If you've got an advantage in the first period, which is possibly the most, aside from the last period, the most crucial one, as we just see a little bit of a trip up there from a black and gold player. Yeah, I think if you start the game off well, you're going to have a lot more confidence going into the other periods.
It looks like until there's a minor miracle with that shot, which there isn't, that it is going to be 1-1. And obviously Hallam going into, if you look into the next two periods, Hallam obviously has dominated this specific event. How do you think Hallam will be thinking going into the last two periods because of their particular mindsets in recent years? They know that they've got the ability to continue this trend in that sense.
Well, I think it's been a lot more even this year than it has in previous years, so they might be just maybe second-guessing themselves, saying, okay, this is a lot closer than we thought, but they do have had quite a few good chances against Uni. So,
as we see the end of the first period on a knife edge, it's an understatement. University of Sheffield took the lead early on through Will Payne, a fantastic shot. Then Hallam won. The University of Sheffield had to go into a penalty kill when Hallam had a power play. Hallam equalised through Joe Colton. It's been very, very even so far. Sam, Hallam dominated the early periods, but how would you say that first period went?
Yeah, I'd say it was pretty even across the board. Both sides had very good tight defences, always swarming the goal when it would need it to be. But Uni did have a few really nice breaks going into the Hallam zone and only missing by inches or off the post in one case.
Well, as we see the lifeguards over there on the far side for the Hallam supporters, the question is, which side will drown in the ice in the second and third period? Back to Adam in the studio.
Exhilarating first period here at Sheffield Arena. with the score level at 1-1 with University of Sheffield taking an early lead. Now we're going to hand over to some pre-match entertainment with the University of Sheffield's cheerleaders providing that for us, and then Hallam. time to go and watch the entertainment for the first period. Now I'm joined again by Scott and David after that exhilarating first period here at the Fly DSA Arena. Now this time last year, Hallam found themselves 3-0 up. Not quite that story this time, and a much tighter affair, Scott.
Yeah, it's a lot tighter. It was a perfect start for University of Sheffield. It got the crowd into it, got the fans into it, and a perfect start and a great goal, breaking down the right wing and a great wrist shot, and to put them 1-0 up. So great start from Uniov. Hallam came back into it, and they got the crowd infused, and good timing with the goal to go into the period level.
And I suppose the teams can really use that crowd to give them the boost, can't they, David? You know, going 1-0 down early isn't ideal, but when you've got this many fans behind you, you know, all shouting and screaming and chanting, that can go a long way to pushing the team that extra mile.
Absolutely. A lot of the people in the crowd today are going to be friends, flatmates, course mates, people that they've known for a long time here at university and they have a very strong bond with. So the fact that they're cheering them on is going to give them that extra adrenaline rush to push harder and work harder on the field to get that goal and to try and pick up the win for their university.
And Will Payne opened the scoring for University of Sheffield. It was his debut in the competition last year, so what would that have felt like to get that opener, you know, in his second varsity?
It would have felt great for him to give his teammates a 1-0 lead in such a momentous occasion, and a great pivotal goal as well. So important, and he'll be buzzing with confidence right now. He'll be skating in, he'll be going into the locker room, his head won't be able to get through the door. You know, scoring a goal in varsity doesn't get better than that. To give your goal team a 1-0 lead as well, and then for Hallam to level it up. But a massive goal for Will Payne, great goal for University of Sheffield, all to play for in the second period.
And in this kind of atmosphere then, with this many fans here, is it difficult, you know, to kind of keep your head in those situations and not get carried away with the atmosphere, you know, playing the game rather than the event?
Absolutely, everyone is so buzzed and everyone's so wired up, the adrenaline's going through the body. Players often take silly, kind of reckless penalties, wanting to make a bit of an impact in the game. The physicality we've seen is great, the energy, the intensity, but it's trying to keep it under a lid, trying not to go too far and take those penalties to your team's detriment.
And it's been, you know, quite an even matchup so far, isn't it? Both teams having a go and, you know, leaving nothing in the changing room.
Absolutely, it both came out and they looked like they wanted this victory. You see Sheffield Uniov started with some really strong possession going forward. They kept the puck and they looked composed. And it's going to be interesting to see whether their legs begin to tire towards the end of the game. If they can keep up this stamina, up the frequent line changes, that's going to be useful.
How much does fitness come into it then, Scott? You know, towards the end of, you know, going into the second period, then into the third, you know, to keep that fitness and precision in your passing and shots as well.
Oh, it's massive. Fitness plays such a part, and ice hockey fitness is so unique. It's more interval-based fitness, so short, quick sprints rather than aerobic endurance. So fitness really plays a part. I know the Sheffield Bears throughout the year train off the ice together. They have sessions at Goodwin Sports Centre where they train, they do off-ice fitness. So all that will play a massive part tonight. And like you say, going into the second and third period where legs may tire, then they'll just play on pure confidence, adrenaline, and that'll carry them through the game. You forget about the pain you're feeling, and the pain just subsides. You go out there, you give it your all, and the tank's empty because with 8,000 people cheering behind you, you find that energy, you go to the next level. So I think fitness will play a part, but the crowd will help lift the players out there to help them perform.
And you mentioned there sort of ice fitness, because you know, it's different to normal running, isn't it? How do you try and, you know, sharpen that in training? Is it purely short sprints and kind of that extra stamina?
Yeah, a lot of it is sort of sprints. I know a lot of players go to like spin classes. That's good fitness, based for ice hockey. Interval sprints upstairs, that sort of thing. But nothing can really replicate on ice fitness. It's a different ball game because the physicality of the sport takes it out of you. Every time you take a hit, you make a hit, it takes a toll on your body. It kind of saps you of some energy. It's hard to describe, but hockey fitness is so specific. It's not like playing football, it's not like any other sport. So you can try to replicate it as much off the ice as you want, but on the ice it's a totally different game.
And the crowd at the minute, David, you know, they've really taken to this event, aren't they, and making it quite a spectacle.
Yeah, they really are. They're chanting after every single opportunity. They play some music here in the stadium. You can hear the fans standing up, singing along. They've got their clappers here on the Uniov end as well to cheer on their team, and that's going to have a psychological impact as well. The players are going to hear that, and they're going to see their friends and possibly family here as well. They're going to want to push harder, like I said earlier, and that's going to have a huge impact. And from a psychological aspect as well, you have to consider that that can take them a long way going forward.
Yeah, you know, we talk about mentality and that kind of thing. It's sometimes quite easy to remember that these players aren't used to playing in this kind of atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, hockey is a confidence sport. If you're confident, you'll be out there and you'll perform. Whereas a lot of these players, it's a totally novel thing to them. It's a totally new thing. So it's all about keeping the emotions in check, preparing well before the game mentally, physically, stretching. And mental preparation is so vital for hockey. A lot of players are superstitious. Players will tape on the pads and the equipment a certain way. They'll drive to the ice rink a certain way. They'll have pre-game meals. And a lot of the preparation is just as important off the ice as it is on the ice. So for a lot of these players, it really is a massive occasion for them. And both teams out there tonight are giving their all, and they're putting on a great spectacle for everyone in attendance.
I'm going to put you on the spot then. Did you have any superstitions as a player?
Yeah, I tended to tape up my equipment left side before right. I tried to eat a similar pre-game meal, a bit of chicken, pasta, plenty of water. I like to listen to certain music before the game, like AC/DC, you know, stuff to kind of put you up a little bit. You know, you don't want to be listening to things like Spice Girls or anything like that. You kind of have the opposite effect. So the players will be listening to music now in between periods to keep them going. The coaches will be doing a team talk. And a lot of it is the mental preparation as well as the physical preparation.
What sort of things do you think the coaches will be saying to their players during the break?
They'll be saying it's a one-all game, it's all to play for. Uni of Sheffield came out, you know, all guns blazing. Hallam came back into it. I think both coaches will be happy with both teams' performances. You know, they'll be saying try not to take any reckless penalties, because the second goal, well, the Hallam goal, came on the power play. You know, and you give a player that much room out there, a player like Joe Colton, who's got the experience of playing in the NIHL, which is the Northern League for Sutton, he will capitalise, and it was a great, well-taken goal. So they'll say, keep out the penalty box, keep the intensity and the energy up, keep the hitting up, and go out there and give it your all.
Do you reckon then, as fatigue sort of sets in, you know, players struggle with their fitness, that the power plays could potentially be the difference in this second and third period?
Yeah, the power plays, the penalty kills, it's what we call special teams in ice hockey. They are vital in every game. Possession is 80% of hockey. If you've got possession, that gives you confidence. If you've got confidence, you go on to score some great goals and make some great plays. So the special teams, both teams, will be vital.
And David, ice hockey has really stolen the hearts of UK fans, hasn't it? It's a really popular sport now. Can you see, after watching, you know, this spectacle and how the fans get in it, why it's such a, you know, a really popular sport?
Absolutely. I think the fans appreciate just how high intensity it is, how good athletes these people are as well, and it's important that they know them as well, so it adds that extra connection, and they'll be talking to them in their lectures next week about their performance. So I think I can see definitely why ice hockey is becoming more and more popular here in the UK.
And that goes for American sports in general, actually, in UK, are becoming popular.
Absolutely. With the TV coverage on Sky Sports, there's more North American sports being introduced, and that's only a good thing for the North American-based sports over here. So players, fans get the chance to give it a go. Something like this may infuse someone in the crowd to think, I want to give that a go. I want to play in varsity next year. So it's something great to work towards.
And quickly then, David, what do you think this second period will bring?
I think we'll possibly see Hallam begin to show more of their quality and their physicality, and they may take the lead in this second period.
Well, we are almost getting ready for the second period to start. It's currently 1-1 between the University of Sheffield and Team Hallam. We'll see what this second period has in store, and we're going to throw you over to our commentators for this second period, Josh Taylor and Matt Rennie.
Much, Adam, and welcome back to the Fly DSA Arena. It's Sheffield University 1, Sheffield Hallam 1. I'm joined by Josh Taylor as we get ready to begin the second period of the first varsity match. Josh, how do you think it's gone so far?
So I think the game so far, I think Hallam have really, at the end of definitely the end of the first period, have really kind of started to capitalise on University's mistakes. They started to try and get open in the shooting lanes, they started to try and get people on the screen. Whereas University of Sheffield has been quite desperate, in my opinion. A lot of collisions between their own players, where they're trying to actually defend Hallam's attacks. Hallam's overwhelming them, and that kind of represents the offense of University of Sheffield as well. It's not been very good offense for Uni of. they're going up with one man. There's been no one to be able to set up on the screen. There's been no one for the shooting in the shooting lanes. So I think, I think Hallam will start to try and capitalise on that now.
Indeed, and number 49 for Sheffield Hallam, Ross Gallagher, still has 53 seconds of his minor penalty to incur in the sin bin. We're just waiting for the players to face off for the second period. And here at the Fly DSA Arena, two partisan crowds who have been full force so far during this match. University of Sheffield were the ones to take the lead, had a 3-minute burst where they broke the Hallam conquest and took the lead courtesy of an assist by Solomon Smith, who's really stood out so far in his first half for the University of Sheffield.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a great assist. I mean, before that, actually, Scott came to me and said, look out for Solomon Smith, he's the guy to look at. And that was kind of evident there. I mean, the goal was all Will Payne, though. I mean, it was a nice deep, nice weave. And I mean, he managed to find the open corner there, which is a really nice solo goal. However, it came against the run of play. It was a solo goal, really, whereas Hallam's was a nice team goal on the power play. Sets him up on the screen, the puck fell to him, the puck fell to Colton, he put it in.
Indeed, we are ready now for the second period to start with the face-off. Will Payne, of course, got that goal for the University of Sheffield. Joe Colton equalised for Sheffield Hallam as we are underway, and the face-off goes in the favour of the University of Sheffield, but it's quickly back into Sheffield Hallam's territory, into the defensive territory of the University of Sheffield. But Solomon Smith now has the puck and looks to make an error there. Trying to capitalise on that was Charlie Saunders. Couldn't do that though, and it's back with Aaron Hudson as they try to get out of their defensive area so far. Hallam already on the attack, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was a really silly mistake whether University of Sheffield just on a break here. They've got people in numbers now. They need to try and set up on the screen. He's got a shooting lane here now, number 7, that's Hudson. A nice shot. That's what they need to do more. They need to try and get the defensemen open for the shooting lanes, try and set them on the screen. That's what Hallam are doing, and that's how Hallam got their goal.
Hallam again on the offensive here with Charlie Saunders, but countered by the University of Sheffield, and it's straight into Solomon Smith's hands. He's back into the attacking territory. Shot on towards the goal, but the puck was wide. Sheffield Hallam now at full strength, Josh. Can they capitalise on it now? They were looking attacking, but only with 4 players on the pitch there.
Well, the thing is, on a power play, well, Hallam won the penalty kill there, so they've got 4 people out as University of Sheffield just in the setting up someone on the screen there. University of Sheffield tried to actually attack a bit and try and push out and press Hallam while they're on the penalty kill line, and that's where Hallam's goal came from. So even though it's valiant that you're attacking whilst on the penalty kill, you just need to sometimes set up in a box or a diamond and try and close up the shooting lanes, close down the space, and try and survive for 2 minutes. So even though it's valiant, sometimes you need to keep a level head and think the long term.
Sheffield Hallam back with the puck, but it's gone straight back to Solomon Smith at the University of Sheffield. The regularly mentioned Solomon Smith, and Sheffield are now on the attack into Sheffield Hallam's defence. Very good save by the keeper for Hallam there. Straight back to Hallam in their defensive territory. Back to University of Sheffield, and the keeper now has the puck in his hand. The ref blows up here, and as the fans get ready to have a little bit of a sing-song, it should be a face-off for the University of Sheffield. They seem to have perked up slightly coming towards, we are at the start of the second period, but they perked up slightly more than they have in the first.
Well, I mean, they started getting people in offence down, people in the shooting lanes. I mean, there was a guy in the screen just there, so they haven't tried to break on the strong side. They managed to stop that, try and get over to the screen, and they could have had a chance. It was a good shot there. However, Hallam managed to survive, and it was nice. Hallam's keeper there, Bell, managed to break up and slow down the game with a nice face-off, and now they're in the University of Sheffield's defensive zone. A great hit there, by the way.
Great hit by Sheffield Hallam upon the University player there, but it's now
we've seen a couple of them today.
We have seen
the crowd up.
We have seen a few hard hits so far. Only a few sin bins and penalties and power plays as of yet. Nothing major in the disciplinary area.
Great check there.
Great check by Sheffield Hallam. It's got the University of Sheffield. It's back with the University of Sheffield here. Solomon Smith hands it over.
The puck's gone out of play there, so that was really nice. That he really got in physical on the Hallam side as well. And there was a chance for a breakout there. There was a chance to call players over. Unfortunately, I mean, there was a great recovery there by the Hallam player.
We have some changes as well to bring you 3 players off there. Gareth Pyrie is on. Max Grice, you got Grestein's on. And also
Hudson, Smith there as well, and James is also there as well.
It's a penalty. It is a penalty for the University of Sheffield. Sheffield Hallam have someone in the sin bin, number 52. 52 or 53, do you reckon that says there?
52 there.
2.
So here we go. I mean, Hallam have been very dominant over the face-offs as well. So it's Lewis Jones.
Yeah, Lewis Jones, 53 in fact, was in there. A little bit of a screencast error there. Lewis Jones is in the sin bin.
I think it was for the holding.
Minor penalty, it was for holding. Solomon Smith has the puck now out to Priory. Gareth Priory giving it back to Solomon Smith. Nice 1-2 there. Straight out of harm's way by the Hallam defence, however. Back to Priory on this near side, in front of the Legion of University of Sheffield fans. Back to Smith. They've linked up quite well within the first 10 seconds of Priory coming back on to the field of play.
I mean, they're trying to get Smith breaking out of the defence. So he did it a couple of times in the last period, the first period, to no avail. He started to get a bit more space. Just needs to get the puck under control and try and open up the shooting lanes.
We do. Hallam just being countered by the University of Sheffield here. A block there from Emery's Sharples-Farrer. No decision by the referee as of yet. On the far side then with Sheffield Hallam, just looking to take control of matters again like they did for the majority of the first half, trying to get it up to the Sheffield area, but it goes straight back to Aaron Hudson, Sheffield's number 7. Bit of an altercation there, and then one of the Hallam players did slip up on the ice. We've seen that a couple of times as well.
That corner of the Sheffield Uni of crowd has been really into this. It's been really nice to see. It perks the players up and gets them going. I think that's a bit why University is still in this game. The crowd are well behind them, and it's really nice to see it at Varsity.
They are indeed. Sheffield Hallam were 6-3 winners last year and haven't been beaten since. Well, it haven't been beaten in quite a while, so the fans really need to get behind the University of Sheffield players here, and they duly are obliging to that. Solomon Smith with the puck then, looking to attack into Sheffield Hallam's defensive quarter.
So you see now they're going to try and get the forecheck here. They're going to try and
two-man forecheck.
They covered the strong side breakout quite well there. I mean, did go to the defensive zone, but didn't allow the Hallam player to get control of the puck. That's number 27 there, Renzi. And they just kind of keep possession here. They're trying to slow it down. It's been quite a chaotic start to the period, where now they can just kind of put the stick on the puck and just try and attack. And
University of Sheffield looking to get to full strength, but the referee blows up. Sheffield Hallam are back at full strength. Lewis Jones is out of the sin bin for his minor penalty for holding. A few more changes being made for the University of Sheffield. Matt Gerstein has just come back on. He's had a few intervals off the pitch. Also on now, Joseph Bagley is on for the back line as we encounter with a face for the University of Sheffield, who looked to counter through but couldn't get through. And Sheffield Hallam now have the puck with Joe Colton, the goal scorer. It's gone back into the Sheffield Hallam defensive area. A good hit there from the University of Sheffield player.
Priory was in the screen there, so it's a two-man forecheck. Oh, and Priory, if he had his head up there, if he was a bit quicker.
From Nathaniel Bell, pardon. There's quite a few cameras and Nathaniel's on the pitch.
He's made a couple of good saves in the first part of this period. I have to say that they need to try. You need to try and get people in the screen. You need to try and get capitalise on the saves and the rebounds, because that's where Hallam's goal came from the screen, from a mistake from the defenseman.
Hallam are susceptible to a mistake. 2 good forechecks by the University of Sheffield there, who now have the puck with Aaron Hudson in their own area, looking to attack the Sheffield Hallam area there. Will Payne, the goal scorer, is up in the half, goes all the way through to the University of Sheffield goalkeeper Callum Stevenson. In Sheffield University's defensive area then, Will Payne wins the puck back there. Great determination from him, looking to give it to offload and couldn't find anyone. It's back in the Sheffield Hallam half with Jones, who was just returned from his sin bin antics there. Game sort of died down a bit here, Josh. It's not as chaotic as the first half has been.
We see here Hudson there was skating back behind his goal. He's trying to set his team up, trying to get them structurally sound so they can try and attack. They can try and launch a breakout. Hallam going to do the same thing as well. Jones has been kind of prevalent in this as he gets the puck back. They're just trying to slow the game down, trying to break out University of Sheffield. But they're trying now. Uni are trying to kind of overload the neutral zone, trying to stop Hallam from getting in. Oh, that was quite a poor attempt there.
It was a poor attempt. Referees and linesmen coming over. A few more interchanges being made. We'll have a face-off as we see on the live screen. The lifeguards are in here just to make sure everyone's okay on the ice.
Yeah. they were here last year. They were one of the staples of last year's event as well, so it's nice to see them back.
Yeah.
We're also at lacrosse as well, where we won the event, won Varsity last year. So it's always nice to see the lifeguards back.
Yeah, lifeguards, of course, mate. Not much use on the ice in the Fly DSA Arena. Into the neutral zone, then pucks back in the Sheffield Hallam defensive half with number 58. That is Wronski, of course, who has been highly touted at Sheffield Hallam so far. Coming back in to the neutral zone now with Emre Sharples-Farah. He's attacking it, and he's gone individually solo here so far.
Now, Uniov need to try and stop the screen from happening. They did defend it quite well in the first half, but there was one mistake on the power play for Hallam that brought the goal about. And they did very well there. I mean, it was a very attacking position. They defended it very well.
Good hit there from Hallam's captain Dominic Martin. Offside has been called by the linesman. The advantage plays on, and it's into the Sheffield Hallam area, looking to University of Sheffield. Or on goal, and he's just missed. He's hit the post, I think. I think Solomon Smith has just hit the post from about...
It was Rudy Gerstein there. I mean, that's what I mean when I'm saying get in the screen. There was two players in the screen, in the slot, and inches away. That's what Uniov still need to do. Try and keep possession in the Hallam's defensive zone. Try and get the screen open. If not, shooting lanes, and I mean, do that again, and then it can be positives to come.
Sheffield Hallam proving themselves to be vulnerable to the screen as we have two players just exchanging, I'm sure exchanging friendly words between each other, but we have a face-off now due to the keeper handling.
So yeah, I mean, Uniov are not doing very well in the face-offs this event. Hallam have won most of them. It's important that they win this face-off because Hallam are in a great position, and they have done, so it's a great defensive play there by Uniov.
Face-off won then by the University of Sheffield there with Sullivan, the captain, and on the ball now, on the puck now is Jerry Tang, who gets a good old hit from the Sheffield Hallam back line. Jerry Tang still has the puck though. Oh. Very close indeed, nearly.
That was Bagley in the slot there.
Nearly slotted it in. Two chances within the space of a minute in about very much the similar positions there.
That's how Uniov have come out and really expressed themselves there offensively. They've managed to get shooting lanes open. They're getting people on the screen. They're retaining possession in the defensive zone. It's a great effort by this Uniov team.
That was a great hit there by the captain, Jordan Sullivan, who immediately comes off the ice. But can the University of Sheffield take away the Sheffield Hallam's Varsity Ice Hockey crown? They're through on a goal here with Brooke Smith, who was intercepted by number 48, Cameron Glasby, with a good interception there in his defensive half. Sheffield Hallam looking to take their time on the puck now, straight into the neutral area. Back to Brooke Smith, who has proven a shining light since he's came on, away at missing quite a good chance. But the University of Sheffield definitely showing their true colours here now. They're back right in the fixture. They still are. It's 1-1. But they are ending Hallam's domination. Do you reckon they need to hold on here, try and just numb the Hallam attack out?
Well, I think you see Hallam try to keep possession of the puck in the defensive zone. But I tell you what, the overloading of Uniov have done of the neutral zone has really stopped any breakout happening from Hallam, any attack. And it's been great, actually. It's been great defense of the screen. No shooting lanes have been open by Uniov in this period so far. So I think they should be proud of what they've done. Just got to keep going. Inches away from a shot in the screen. Brooke Smith was inches away from getting his stick on a rebound. Just got to keep going. This face-off's a great chance to just do just that.
Penalty for the University of Sheffield. Then Joe Renzi is in the sin bin for 2 minutes for incurring a minor penalty. We have a tennis ball or something on the pitch launched from the Sheffield Hallam fans. Not what you want to see at this match. It's off the pitch immediately.
Hazardous.
Very much hazardous, especially with the dangers of ice. Jake Renzi, of course, is in the sin bin. Penalty for interference, and University of Sheffield could not capitalise on the penalty there. Gregor James with the puck in the neutral area, straight into the defensive half from Gareth Priory, but comes to no avail. Aaron Hudson with the puck back in the University of Sheffield.
If you see now, Hallam set up in a box, and that's to try and close down the shooting lanes, stop Uniov trying to get in the screen and get any offensive space. Hopefully can do it. They can do a better job than Uniov, who conceded a goal in the power play last period.
Solomon Smith with the puck then. They're into the Sheffield Hallam area. They're looking for that screen again, which has proven quite vulnerable for Sheffield Hallam ice hockey team so far. Solomon Smith with the puck behind the net to Gregor James on this near side in front of the University of Sheffield band.
Yeah, Uniov are trying to cycle the puck around here, trying to get a shoot line open. It's a great box set by Hallam, and that's one of the advantages to a box set. They've closed down any space. Uniov tried to cycle the puck around, nothing happened though.
Very good box set defending there by Sheffield Hallam. They're setting themselves up well. University of Sheffield shot on goal with the puck from Max Gerstein to no avail.
See, Hallam are just not even trying to attack, they're not trying to push out. They're allowing Uniov to come at them so they can set up in a box, close down any space. So it's on Uniov now to try and get some offensive space, try and overload the offensive zone, which they haven't done so far.
With the puck now in the Sheffield Hallam area, close to Nathaniel Bell's net, but we couldn't find it. Sheffield Hallam back at full strength. Joe Renzi is out of the sin bin for interference, and the Sheffield Hallam keeper Nathaniel Bell has got the puck, and it will be a face-off now in the Sheffield Hallam defensive territory.
I think Hallam are very proud of the penalty kill line over that past 2 minutes. They're back to full strength now. Now they can try and get some offensive going. We're going to have to defend this face-off first.
University of Sheffield could not capitalise on the power play there. Face-off here in Sheffield Hallam's area goes in the favour of University of Sheffield this time. Hasn't been the case for much of the match so far. Looking again for that screen, wondering if Sheffield Hallam will set up for that box set.
Gerstein there was covering the weak side, he's got the puck there, so it's a very good play by Gerstein.
Oh, and a mistake by Wood there. Great defending in the end from the University of Sheffield. Bit of a mistake there. Can Sheffield Hallam capitalise on it? They're now looking for their own screen, and it's in! Sheffield Hallam have scored from their own screen, number 9. That is Dominic Martin, the captain, has scored the goal that sends Hallam into a 2-1 lead. They brought it back from 1-0, courtesy of an original mistake from Adam Wood there. Josh.
Well, I mean, Gerstein was covering the weak side. He couldn't do anything from the puck. It was a mistake by Uniov. Hallam have broken out, been waiting for the chance. Martin is set up in the screen. It was great retaining possession of his teammates cycling round the goal. Set up in the screen, easy goal.
Easy goal.
A lot of space.
Easy goal in the end, a lot of space for the captain, Dominic Martin then. Against the run of play slightly, University of Sheffield have been very, very well played in this second period so far. They got themselves back into the game, but now they have a mountain to climb.
They'll be gutted about that, they'll be gutted. They've been on top for the better half of 13 minutes, and that has come against the run of play. Hallam now need to try and open up an advantage now.
So, Sheffield Hallam 2, the University of Sheffield 1, assisted by Joe Colton, of course. He's having a good game so far. University of Sheffield then, with a mountain to climb. They need to find another goal before the end of this period, don't they, Josh? Just keep in the game and keep the momentum even.
Yeah, I think they need to stop the mistakes defensively, because there have been 2 mistakes and 2 goals. I also think they need to try and just keep doing what they're doing on offense. They need to try and keep cycling the puck around, retaining possession. We've got a breakout here on the right side, but I tell you what, Hallam have done very well defensively. Very, very well. There's been one time with Payne where he weaved through the defence and obviously got the goal. But other than that, they haven't given away the puck. They haven't made any mistakes. They've been very stout at defence.
The defensive discipline for Sheffield Hallam reaping the reward so far, but University of Sheffield now on a breakout. A hit there by number 4 from Hallam, Jamie McGrath. And it's back with Sheffield Hallam. Again, disciplined at defending, and 2 costly errors from the University of Sheffield. Apart from that, they are playing very well indeed. A very good game of ice hockey. Back with Solomon Smith in the Sheffield defensive area. He takes it into the neutral zone. Solomon Smith still going. Looks like there's a trip there. The referee has signalled for a trip, I think.
It looks like it should have been. I mean, Uniov are starting to they're trying to get Solomon Smith in the offensive zone. He starts every play, and he either tries to weave through the neutral zone or he tries to get out to the wingers. Just keep trying to get him on the puck, because he looks like he's going to be the source of a goal.
Penalty for the University of Sheffield. Then Matt Unwin is in the sin bin, and can Sheffield counter? Can they make most dividends of this power play here, or will Sheffield Hallam keep their defensive discipline so far? So a penalty for the University of Sheffield. We think it is for tripping. It will be contested by Matt Payne and Jake Renzi. and it goes in the favour of Matt Payne, but back in the favour of Sheffield Hallam, backed into the neutral zone. And another defensive error from Aaron Hudson there. Jake Renzi threw on goal, but a good defensive stick from Will Kane.
Yeah,
tripping was the foul.
Tripping was the foul, yeah, and I think it's put Hallam at disadvantage, but I don't think they'll panic. I mean, Uniov have had 2 or 3 power plays, a number of power plays, and not really capitalised on them. Just need to try and cycle the puck around, get some space. They'll tell you Hallam again, set it up in a box. They're closing down any space in the offensive zone. They just need to try and keep doing that again. They're not even going to try and attack. It's all about defence now for Hallam.
Hallam are throwing all they can at the defence, which has reaped the rewards so far. Mistake then from Jordan Sullivan, the captain of the University of Sheffield, and throw on goal is Charlie Saunders for Sheffield, and it's gone in! Sheffield Hallam are 3-1 up, an individual goal there from Charlie Saunders. Another mistake from the University of Sheffield, and Sheffield Hallam are now 3-1 up. Josh, what did you make of that?
I mean, I was saying that Hallam weren't going to try and do anything offensively, but that was a simple goal by Saunders. One mistake by Union. The third mistake is kind of reaped the third goal for Hallam. It was a simple weave, very nice. He looked like he was about to try and cycle around the net, trying to get a teammate in the screen, try and free up some space, but no, just went for himself, snuck it in to the keeper's right. A very nice goal there by Saunders. Hallam deserved their 3-1 lead.
A very tidy and neat finish there from Charlie Saunders. A timeout taken by Sheffield Hallam. Just look back on this now. Has the University of Sheffield imploded here?
I think mini implosions, you have to say, because I mean, you want a sound, you want a kind of stout defence, you want to get the basics right. There's been a couple passes that have gone loose. You saw there Saunders picked up a stray pass that couldn't be controlled, and he's gone straight through the defence, no contention. So I think if I'm Uniov now, I'm just thinking, let's try and get the basics, and let's build from there. Let's try and get some forechecks in. Let's try and retain possession in the offensive zone. And let's see if there's a shot on, take it, you never know what might happen.
Sheffield Hallam 3, the University of Sheffield 1. The timeout has concluded that Sheffield Hallam took up. And indeed, Sheffield Hallam did score, and it was against their power play. They had one man left off the field. The referees and the linesmen just debating with the match officials on the ice side. Waiting to see what has happened here.
I mean, I mean, Hallam will be so proud of their penalty kill line in the game today. There's been one time where they managed to stop University of Sheffield capitalising, and now on this power play they've gone and scored, which is it's not rare, but you don't expect your penalty kill line to get you a goal there. So they'll be very proud of their line there.
It looks like a few of the fans have been throwing stuff on the pitch. We do condemn that. Please stop throwing stuff on the pitch, because it just ruins the aura and the atmosphere of the match. University 1, Sheffield Hallam 3 then. University now do have a mountain to climb. It's not just a hill anymore, it's a mountain. Back in there, University of Sheffield looking for that screen there.
It was a very good pass there. And it was Gerstein. Gerstein's been quite involved in the offensive attacks here. He'd try and get Solomon Smith, who's not on the ice at the minute, but if he was on, I'd be trying to get in on the puck.
Gersten and Solomon Smith standing out for the University of Sheffield so far. With Gersten now, couldn't capitalise, and it's away by captain Dominic Martin into the neutral zone.
So Gerstein was in the slot there, and that's where you kind of need to patrol, because he wasn't unmarked basically, and that shot by Hudson, it fell to him. If he was a bit more alive, he may have been able to control that.
Oh, great individual effort there by, that was Solomon Smith. He's back on the field now. Fantastic effort, fantastic save from Nathaniel Bell in the Sheffield Hallam goal. Look for that screen, 3-2. University of Sheffield are back in the match. A great finish. That screen has proven to be the downfall of Sheffield Hallam again there, Josh.
I mean, it was great by Solomon Smith, as I was saying, try and get on the puck and try and do something. It came from his initial breakout for the neutral zone as he goes absolutely crazy. Great passion by Solomon Smith, and he's just stood there in the screen and waited, not been picked up. Great offense by Union, bad defence by Hallam. That's been irregularity for Hallam. They've not been quite good on defence, but Solomon Smith managed to find the space, and he has capitalised. Uniov are back in this game.
Uniov are back in the varsity fixture. They are climbing that mountain, as we've been alluding to so far. University 2, Sheffield Hallam 3. 5.5 minutes left of period 2 to go. The game is up and running again from the face-off. Sheffield Hallam's favour there with Sebastian Ronski. Good hit there from the Sheffield Hallam attacker Joe Renzi, but just looking for the attack now, the linesman and the referee have signalled for a foul. Solomon Smith with the goal, in fact. That might be the second one of the game.
Very good there by Solomon Smith. Schlosio there on the assist. Just got to try and keep doing what they're doing, try and get the space. As you see, Hallam, they've tried, kind of probed Hallam a lot in this period, but they've gone for the kill, and they've managed to get the goal.
Hallam have a man in the sin bin again, number 14. Showerpools Farah is in the sin bin. Penalty to the University of Sheffield. Can they capitalise on it this time, or will the Sheffield Hallam indeed get themselves another goal? Again, the face-off goes in the favour of Sheffield Hallam. Back into the icing zone of the University of Sheffield with Will Payne. Bit of altercation there with Joe Colton and a fellow University of Sheffield defender. Penalty was for delaying the game already at this stage. Aaron Hudson has the puck, and it's still in the Sheffield defensive half. A mistake again from the University of Sheffield, and it's with Joe Colton now, the scorer of the first Hallam goal. Still not away.
I think if I'm Uniov now, I'm relishing this power play. But I tell you what, Hallam, instead of sitting back and defending like they did last time, they're actually pushing up. They're pushing up there with a 3-1 formation. But now Uniov going to try and break out. But again, another mistake there. They've got to try and get the basics right first, then try and build an attack from that.
Of course, Sheffield Hallam scoring in the last power play. They are apparently, by the looks of it, the power play plays indeed into their strengths rather than the University of Sheffield. It's still in the Sheffield's defensive area now. They have a chance to clear the danger. There's a way, a good pass, just a mistake there from Jerry Tang, who could have got the puck under control, but has sent Sheffield Hallam on the University of Sheffield on the breakout.
It's great control of the neutral zone there by the Hallam defence. Any puck that's coming out of the Uniov defensive zone is going into their defenseman. Again here, straight away, they're pressing a high line with a 3-1. Number 16 there, I think that's Saunders, who's going to be the lone offensive man. They're going to try and go for the forecheck, but Uniov get it out on the strong side.
And it's across the field of play now. Max Gersten has the ball, has the puck. He's been a standout so far. Hits there from Matt Unwin out of the sin bin. For one of the players out of the sin bin. Back in the favour of Sheffield Hallam. And it's now with Charlie Saunders, the scorer. Charlie Saunders looking to go individually as the Sheffield Hallam set up for the shot. Good save by the keeper, Callum Stevenson, in the Sheffield University of Sheffield goal. Fantastic save, in fact, to hold on to that.
It was great work by Saunders there to try and open up the shooting lane for Millman. Nice wrist shot. Could have tried to aim for the corners, but again, great save there by Stevenson as the replay of Solomon Smith's goal is on the Jumbotron. A lot of passion there shown by Smith.
The celebrations there show how passionate and how much this means to each individual player. Sheffield Hallam back at full strength. Emery Sharples Farah is out of the sin bin for delaying the match. Face off here in the University of Sheffield defensive area, and they won the puck there. It's back in favour of Sheffield Hallam with Grzybowskis, who sets up for the screen, and a mistake there from Sheffield Hallam. Can the University of Sheffield counter this now? It's Max Gerstein on the puck again. Bit rough and rowdy there from the Sheffield Hallam players. A few sticks going flying. Now with Joe Colton on the far side and into the University of Sheffield defensive area, but the attack comes to no danger, and it is back with Adam Wood. So the University of Sheffield 2, Sheffield Hallam 3 here across the goal of the puck. It was a risky manoeuvre and a mistake, went straight to Colton, who was looking for the ambitious long shot, couldn't find a way through there with Tommy Millman. Now Sheffield Hallam looking to launch it back into the attacking zone for Sheffield Hallam, but it comes to no avail there. But they're setting up a good box here again. They're really pressuring University of Sheffield now. The power play's finished, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, you just saw there Millman try to find Martin there with a long shot. Martin was going to try and run on the end of it, but I tell you what, Hallam is starting to press quite hard now, trying to kind of overload Uniov's defensive zone. They've done quite well, Uniov. They just need to try and clear it, and need to try and slow the game down as they actually come on the attack now.
That is Shanav Jaiswal with the puck there, again comes to no avail. Now looking to counter the Sheffield Hallam's disciplined defence as it's been so far. A few mistakes from Sheffield Hallam have proven costly and given the University 2 goals. A mistake there, and now it is with Payne, but he's barged off the puck. Only a minute and a half, about a minute and a half, just over a minute and a half left to go of this enthralling second period. And
nice hit there, nice hit.
Yeah.
They've done very well to control
another nice hit there.
Zone.
A great hit there from Connor Pike for the University of Sheffield. It has left the Sheffield Hallam player flat out on the ground.
It looks like it must be Unwin there on the ground. It was a big hit. But I'll tell you what, Uniov started to put some of their pressure on their own on Hallam. I mean, but Hallam have really controlled the defensive zone very well, barring the goal there. But I'd say they just need to try and keep on going. I think they need to try and keep on going with the offensive attacks. They try and get the screen open, try and get someone in the slot, as that was quite a hard hit as well.
That was a hard hit. Matt Unwin is coming off by the looks of it for a bit. It looks like he's having a bit of a nosebleed there. We hope he's well soon. Matt Unwin there is just getting his face to ice. It was a big hit. There's been a few big hits flying around so far, hasn't there,
I think it's really perked the crowd up. I think a big physical game. Because a part of hockey is being very, very physical. It kind of slows the game down. It makes it a bit more a defensive game. But I tell you what, it roused the crowd up. And Uniov and Hallam are getting riled up now. It's going to be an explosive finish to this second period. Only a minute and a half left. What have you made of the period so far, Matt?
I think the University of Sheffield have really got themselves back into the game for the start of it, and indeed they should have capitalised on some of the power plays that they were given, with the Sheffield Hallam being in the sin bin about, I think, 3 times now. However, Sheffield Hallam capitalised on that and countered it, in fact, and went 2 and 3-1 up. Then Sheffield Hallam began to get on top, but then another defence mistake, 2 screen goals for the University of Sheffield led to it becoming 3-2. They're back in the game now. They need to focus on that. That goal has given them momentum going into the break. The momentum is with the University of Sheffield now, as we saw with that hit, as we just await an enforced break to end.
I'd say Hallam have done very well in pressing the University of Sheffield, and I mean their penalty kill line has done outstanding. Getting a goal penalty kill line, Saunders there weaving through Uniov's defence. Uniov will be so annoyed conceding like that on the penalty on the power play. But I tell you, Hallam, I'd say they're edging it so far. Obviously edging at the scoreboard, but they're responding. They responded very well to going behind on the power play. Just need to try and keep the momentum up.
Indeed, we're just waiting for the enforced play to finish so far. Just looking at the replay of Solomon Smith's goal there. It was a very extravagant celebration from the young man. He's been a standout player so far for University of Sheffield, do you think, John?
Yeah, I mean, every attack, he normally starts to put behind his own goal, and he's like the quarterback on the rink here, and he looks like he's actually playing mostly in the defensive zone, whilst Hallam have the puck. His other offensive plays are in the offensive zone. But I tell you what, his breakouts, his dominance on the puck and his puck skills have really just thrown Uniov back into this game, because he looks like he's head and shoulders above the rest of the team based on his puck skills. He needs to try and keep doing that, try and channel his passion, try and get that third goal for Uniov.
For a check to the head.
Connor Pike is in the sin bin there for the check to the head that he gave to Matt Unwin. Penalty for Sheffield Hallam University. Just a bit of deliberation with the referee's decision there, but Connor Pike is in the sin bin for the final minute and a half of the game.
In the sin bin for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a major penalty.
Hallam are going to be relishing this opportunity here. I mean, we like seeing big hits, but stupid penalties, and in the first half it was Tang who gave away a stupid penalty that led to the equaliser for Hallam. Uniov just need to try and keep the res, don't try and press, try and keep a nice steady box or a diamond, and then try and close the space up.
University of Sheffield looking to capitalise on a Sheffield Hallam mistake there. They are a man down, but couldn't do that. A disciplined setup from Sheffield Hallam. Just over a minute left of the second period then. The University of Sheffield 2, Sheffield Hallam 3, who are now in the driving force with that extra man and the power play in their favour. Just a mistake there from Charlie Saunders up the field from the Sheffield Hallam, University of Sheffield attacking line. The press is coming on now, and there's a lot of space out there for the Sheffield Hallam so far, who are looking to capitalise on this from a change that was made from the University of Sheffield. It is now with Joe Colton, the first goal scorer. A great save by the keeper. Did take a deflection off the University of Sheffield's own player there. Good save from Callum Stevenson. Only half a minute left to go this half. Josh, how have you found it so far? And who, importantly, do you think will win this game?
I think Hallam are going to win this. I mean, just seeing there, going back to recent play, Union pressed into Hallam's defensive zone and left the neutral zone unattended and allowed Hallam to walk straight through into the defensive zone, and face-offs come of it. But I think Hallam, if they can capitalise on this 4-minute power play, it should be fine. It's just scored!
Hallam have scored. The face-off went in their favour. They're now back into their 2-goal deficit. The University of Sheffield 2, Sheffield Hallam 4. The other half to this side of the Fly DSA Arena erupts and limbs are all over the place. It was a finish by number 27, Jake Renzi, who has been in the sin bin. He now restores Hallam's lead to a 2-goal cushion just before the end of the second period, and that mountain that University of Sheffield needed to climb, they were climbing up it, they were halfway there. The Avalanche has come again. They are now needing to find 2 goals to draw and 3 goals to take the lead.
So yeah, Hallam gained possession off the face-off. The shot came in from the defenseman, and Renzi was there in the slot. First shot was saved, managed to turn it in. Well, great hockey there by Renzi.
So the University of Sheffield 2, Sheffield Hallam 4, disarray for the University of Sheffield. They played well in this second period with only 10 seconds left to go. It's in the Sheffield Hallam defensive territory. 5 seconds left before the hooter goes, and it's now in the Dukes play. It is time in the second period here. The University of Sheffield got themselves back into the game. Hallam scored a 2-goal cushion to go 3-1 up. Then a goal from Solomon Smith made it 3-2, courtesy of another screen goal. But with the University of Sheffield having a major penalty there, Connor Pikes in the sin bin for 3.5 minutes to go. Hallam restored their lead from a face-off, and the power play again went to their favour. End of the second period here. It's the University of Sheffield 2, Sheffield Hallam 4.
Well, Team Hallam have restored their 2-goal advantage then. It looked like Solomon Smith had got the University of Sheffield back into it, but, Hallam have really capitalised so far. Now, Scott, University of Sheffield held their own in the first period, but couldn't quite cope with Hallam in that second.
No, Hallam, we mentioned at the end of the period, special teams are so important. The power play, the penalty kill, and special teams has been vital tonight. A lot of the goals coming on the power play, one towards the end of 5-minute power play going into the third period. That'll be in 3 minutes and 29 with the man advantage going into the third. So that means all that time with all the space to manoeuvre the puck around, and because it's a major penalty, a 5-minute penalty, that means that the player doesn't return to the ice. They've been ejected from the game, so someone has to serve their penalty, but that also means they've still got 3 minutes 29. If it was a regular 2-minute minor, then they would have had time, the penalty would have been over after the goal had been scored. But they've still got 3 minutes 29 to work the room, and they could edge further ahead. It's going to be an exciting third period.
And David, Solomon Smith, getting his goal in his debut varsity, that would have been a great fill-in for him, and it looked like that could have been the opportunity for the University of Sheffield to get back into the game and really stake a claim.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was the turning point in the game. I thought the momentum was going to push towards Uni of, but it didn't go that way. Hallam kept on fighting. They kept their heads up, and they got that goal, and it's now 4-2. And during the break, Uni of are going to be thinking they have a big task in these final 20 minutes to get 2, maybe 3 goals to pick up that win now.
Was it a lack of concentration then, Scott, from the University of Sheffield, or was it just Hallam playing the better ice hockey?
A little bit of both. It's tough to say. I mean, the 5-minute penalty at the end, that will kill momentum that any University of Sheffield players had. The big hit, probably a little unfair. He kind of got his elbow up high and he caught Matt Unwin in the mouth, so he drew blood. So that's why he would have got ejected for drawing blood with the hit. So Hallam playing pretty well. Uni of Sheffield, they just need to kind of feed on that atmosphere, the energy from the Solomon Smith goal. It was a great, well-taken goal. Great cycling by University of Sheffield with Mike Schlozzy, the long-time servant of University of Sheffield and the Bears, with a great assist on the play to set up Solomon Smith. And it's a bit of both. Hallam are playing pretty well. University of Sheffield, despite trailing, are playing well defensively. Both goalies, though, outstanding. Some great saves. Callum Stevenson, Nathaniel Bell, some great saves for both teams tonight.
And how important is that experience then in these kind of settings? You know, the older heads, as it were, to try and get those young players in and just sort of really soak in this atmosphere and use it to their advantage.
Yeah, definitely. A player like Mike Schlozzy, he's got so much experience, not just in varsity, not just for the Bears, but before when he was playing in Toronto, back in Canada. You know, he's going to use that experience in the locker room. He helps coach the Bears through the season, so he's familiar with all these players, and that experience is vital.
Well, we're going to pass over to Dan Cross and Ashton Kirby for the captain's penalty shootout.
Thank you, Adam May. Yes, I'm joined in the rather lofty perch in the Fly DSA Arena with Ashton Kirby as we get to commentate on something a little fun for the ice hockey ones. Your sports officer penalty shootout sort of thing. Ashton, Flo Brooks has just missed from the first one. How does that bode for a performance?
It's a great start to the shootout, but she just only missed. I think she can improve on it.
It was just wide of the post. So you've got the University of Sheffield sports officer Flo Brooks against the Hallam sports officer Josh Nims. Do you have any predictions? Do you reckon, Hallam are 4-2 up in the game? Do you reckon that'll translate into the sports officer performance?
Maybe. If it does, I think it's going to be a one-sided event like it has been so far.
Flo Brooks,
might open up later and maybe she'll come back like we've just done.
Maybe she will. Flo Brooks has set the bar rather low as Josh Nims prepares to take the first of his shots from the halfway line. Here he comes. Oh, it's a good shot. It's straight down the middle. And the Hallam fans are loving that. Not only ahead in the ice hockey, but they're ahead in the sports officer. I think we'll dub it the sports officer shootout.
But unlike the game, Hallam scored first in this one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Maybe Sheffield can come back here.
Flo Brooks for her second shot. Oh, she's missed again!
That's just unlucky.
Would you believe it? She's hit the post. It was dramatic, but I'm afraid it didn't translate into the result she was looking for. Do we know how many shots they're taking? Because Flo Brooks has missed 2 already.
Is it 3 or 5? I'm not sure.
And you can hear from the noise behind us that Josh Nims is feeling confident. And he's right to be confident. He's scored a second. It's 2 for 2 for Josh Nims.
Does that end it, or?
I don't know, because if it was best of 3, surely we'd end it. But Flo Brooks for the University of Sheffield as she rallies the fans below our commentary position in the Fly DSA Arena. She's taken it just in front of the halfway line.
Taking an extra inch there.
Yeah. Will it help? Oh,
no.
Oh dear, Flo, you've not covered yourself in grace there. You've missed 3 for 3.
Maybe this is potentially the winner here.
Potentially the win. As Josh Nims takes his place.
He's
gone for the power. Oh, he's missed. He's missed.
Open it up.
The quality of shots has not been brilliant there. I know Flo Brooks was predominantly snowboard. I'm not sure about Josh Nims, but if he did ice hockey, he doesn't want to shout about it after that performance. But he has won the sports officer shootout for 2018.
Very good shoot-off. Not the greatest from leading off though.
No, 2 goals to 0, I believe. So a win for Hallam in sports officer shootout. They're currently ahead 4-2 on the night. Let's hand back to Adam May, who's with.
So we haven't got long then, just under 10 minutes until the third period gets underway. I'm joined here with David and Scott. Now Scott, Team Hallam came into it there at the end, really made an advantage and made it count. What can we sort of expect from that third period then?
Yeah, the third period, Hallam with the big goal towards the end, that will give them some momentum going into the third period. Starting on the power play as well, that will give them time to use that man advantage, to settle it down and to kind of get the composure and to use that to their advantage. So that will only give Hallam a bit more energy, a bit more focus going into the third period. So it'd be an ideal start for Hallam to settle it down, to play at their tempo and to start where they've left off.
And I imagine now a lot of the players will really be feeling that in their legs and their lungs, won't they? So that power play will be really unwanted for University of Sheffield.
Absolutely. When you're on the penalty kill as well, from a University of Sheffield standpoint, it will take so much out of the tank as well. It'll take so much out of the tank to, you know, absorb and to soak up that pressure, and mentally as well. It's so tiring being on the penalty kill because you're having to focus all the time. You're looking at the players, you're trying to cut out the pass, you're trying to protect the goaltender. So it's a lot to absorb. So it will take the wind out of the sails of University of Sheffield, and they really do need to stay out of the penalty box. If both teams are to get the freedom, the use of the ice, and to use their speed, they ideally need to play 5-on-5. So penalties have been vital tonight.
And for the black and golds then, David, you know, they've almost had a bit of a lifeline through Solomon Smith, and it's a real shame from their point of view that they didn't take advantage of that and really push that on when it appeared to change the atmosphere in the arena.
Yes, you're right, Adam. They had the crowd behind them at that point too, but it's important to remember that this game isn't over yet. There's still 20 minutes to go, and they need to keep their heads up, keep pushing, keep trying, because if they keep pushing, they can definitely get another goal, and that will put the pressure on Alan in the final few minutes. The crowd will be on their side, so it's important that if they get an early goal in this final period, then it's all to play for, really. It's not over yet.
And a lot can still happen, can't it, in that third period? It's all to play for. And even though, you know, Team Hallam have got that power play, University of Sheffield surely are by no means out of it.
Absolutely. You know, it's 20 minutes. 20 minutes is a long time in hockey. We've seen how many goals a period can produce, and I don't doubt that there'll be more goals to come in the third period. So 20 minutes is massive. Both teams will be giving their all, infused by the crowd, the energy, the atmosphere. Both teams will leave it all out on the ice, and it's been a great spectacle so far, and it'll be another in for all in 20 minutes.
And if the atmosphere is like this, then, David, for Varsity more generally, we're in for a great few weeks of excellent university competition, aren't we?
Yes, we are, yeah, and you have to imagine that some of the arenas will be smaller, but that doesn't necessarily mean the atmosphere will be any less good. We have a smaller space, voices have less travel to project, and it's important to think that some of these sports people may not have the greatest knowledge of, so therefore they won't know when sort of the tides are turning. But it's going to educate people, I think, as well. People are going to learn about these sports. As Scott mentioned earlier, they might take up these sports, so yeah, it's going to be a fantastic few weeks here at Varsity.
And Scott, now you've played in varsities before. How much do the other sort of teams in different sports feed off each other when teams are getting results? Is that something that you're aware of as a player in a sports team?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you look out for the events on the calendar. You want to support as much as you can. You know, and a lot of sort of participants from various sports will be here tonight. You know, I've seen the American football teams in the crowd, and they do really feed off each other. And to have this as one of the main curtain raisers, it's going to be big momentum for whichever team wins it, and they'll use that to their advantage. And the crowd tonight will hopefully go to a lot more of the other varsity fixtures and show their support, their allegiance. You know, whether it's black or gold or whether it's maroon. You know, it's been a great spectacle, and all the varsity calendar, for me, it was one of the highlights of my university career. You know, playing in these events and being on the ice, it was just a dream come true. So it'll be the same for many of these players. It'll be the pinnacle of their career, and to play in front of crowds like this, you know, it really is amazing.
And give us a bit of an insight then into the standard of these players. You know, for some who aren't familiar with ice hockey, you know, it's difficult, isn't it, to sort of gauge what standard they're at. If you look at, you know, Sheffield Steelers and then wider, more internationally. So what sort of standard are these players that we're watching here for University of Sheffield and Team Hallam at?
It's a pretty mixed, to be fair. The first line for Sheffield Hallam, Joe Colton, Dominic Martin, Charlie Saunders, they play for Sutton Sting, which are like a semi-professional team based over at Ice Sheffield, just across the green. And that's a really good standard. It's like the second tier of ice hockey in Great Britain. And then you've got players on the team who've probably only been playing maybe 5 or 6 years and who play at like a recreational level. So it's a big standard, but in terms of the grander scheme of things, if you think of the Sheffield Steelers, which is the arena's host team, they are essentially the Man U of ice hockey. You know, they are the biggest team in British ice hockey, and you know, the standard there is amazing. You know, a lot of the players have come from the NHL, which is the best league in the world. They come over here to play the trade, and that really is a great standard. So there are a lot of mixed sort of abilities on the ice, but you know, the biggest attribute what the players have got is their heart. You know, the energy, what they play with, the intensity. You know, and that matches the best players in the world, you know, for the sheer will and energy. So a lot of the players out there tonight may not have the skill of the top teams in Britain, the top players, but they certainly have the same work ethic, if not more.
I just want to pick up on a point that Scott said about the fact that some of these people are first years that may have been playing it for only 5 or 6 years beforehand. You can imagine you've been playing hockey since maybe you were 14, 15 at a local level for your local club, maybe only a handful of parents watching, and to transfer that into this Sheffield Arena, one of the biggest arenas for ice hockey in the UK, 8,000 people watching you, that's both a challenge in a good and a bad way. So you're going to have the nerves of performing in front of that many people, but also the wonderful moment, because not all of these guys are going to go on to become professional hockey players. This will be the pinnacle of their hockey careers, and you have to reveal that they're both here for competition and also the enjoyment of that personal achievement as well.
And you mentioned there the quality of the likes of sort of Sheffield Steelers, and it says a lot for how the UK has kind of adopted ice hockey and American sports as they're attracting players, you know, from America and Canada. It says a lot for the game currently in the UK.
Absolutely, the sport is growing. It's growing massively. It's one of the fastest rising sports in the UK in terms of you know, fan engagement, fans in the stands, and it helps having University of Sheffield being a sponsor of the Sheffield Steelers, so players can come over here and do an MBA, a Masters in Business Administration. So players who might not consider league, they would come over here because of the package, what they get, so the university package. So it's helping attract better players, and then, you know, that has a snowball effect. So hockey players will see the likes of, you know, the really top-end players coming over here, and they'll think, wow, it must be a good league. Word will get around, and then the better the quality of players, the higher number of fans you see in the crowd. So it really does have a knock-on effect and major implications for crowd numbers.
And it's really important, David, then, isn't it, as we've seen there, that universities get behind their sports teams. You know, funding across all sports is a big issue at the minute, a big talking point. You know, for universities then to offer those sorts of scholarships and the opportunity for players, if they're good enough, to turn out in crowds like this, it must be something they really appreciate, and in the university's best interest as well.
Yeah, of course, it's not always about your really academic subjects, your maths, your medicines. There's also a sporting side to academia as well, and these students will often spend their Wednesday afternoons training in their respective sport, trying to improve themselves, the social aspect of it as well. And I think it's really important that the university allows students to have this downtime away from their studies, because we see a rising sort of premise to mental health nowadays and the stigma around that. So I think this is a great way for students to sort of let their hair down before, during and after, and I think it's really important that students and universities continue to do that.
And Varsity is a great showcase of that university sport, and, you know, the attitudes of sport and well-being generally. And, you know, we've seen on campus this week, and I'm sure we will do for the weeks to come, how much it can actually engulf university and really take everyone, you know, who might not necessarily enjoy sports or actively watch sports regularly, to actually go and watch and turn out for their university colours.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most important element of Varsity, is to bring the university together, because for the rest of the year we're all sort of doing our own studies, we're all separate, but as you can see here, 8,000 students, 4,000 from each university have come together to support their respective sides. They've come together, and I think it's really important as well these students learn social skills as well when they're on the pitch, talking to each other. There's also communication skills to learn from this as well.
And Scott, what was your experience then of being in Varsity and kind of being absolutely in the thick of it and actually being involved, which, you know, not many students get the opportunity to represent the university in these kind of competitions?
Yeah, firstly, it was a great honour. I represented Hallam, so, you know, from a different perspective. It was great. I played for the Sheffield Bears, which is the team what both sets of players play for throughout the year. So that was a great, you know, great atmosphere in itself. It was a great sort of family atmosphere. Everyone really cared for each other, and the sport's so unique that it almost becomes like a brotherhood. And the physical side of it really brings you closer. So it's very similar to rugby in that sense, where players are so close, you know, on the ice, off the ice. You know, it was great, plenty of parties. But, you know, Varsity is, you know, the pinnacle. It is the ultimate experience for any ice hockey player who plays for a university. And to have such a big varsity and have such a great building to play in front of, it really does make it special. And for many of these players, you know, standing on the blue line before the game, I know when I was on there, you know, the hairs on your neck stand on end during the national anthem. The adrenaline's pumping through you, you're shaking. But it's such an amazing experience, and it almost feels like a dream when it's over. And you look back and think, wow, did I really play in that? And it's a great experience, and I just hope these players really embrace it and really cherish that experience, because it will stay with them.
It brings both sides of Sheffield together as well. So you have the Uni of and Hallam. They may never ever meet each other, but now it gives them the opportunity to come together in a sort of confrontational but good way, obviously wanting to beat the other side. That rivalry, I think it's healthy having the two Sheffield universities here in the city, because it creates competition and strives for each side to improve themselves and be the best that they can be.
And it shows how much, I suppose, how much they really cherish getting the opportunity to represent their university. You know, you wouldn't know that these two sets of players play with each other week in, week out, would you, because of that fire and determination in their performance?
Absolutely, and like you touched on, it is a massive honour for the players. I mean, I think there's 5 teams, so there's an A team right through to an E team, so it goes in order of ability. So if you think that's 100 and something players, and then the best 40 or so are here today, so it really is an honour. You know, a lot of it comes down to attendance at training, things like that. So if players don't really put in the effort throughout the year, they won't get picked. There's certain criteria what makes them eligible. So you can't just rest on your laurels and expect to be picked just on ability. You know, years ago that did happen, but now they've changed that, so it's a lot more fair. So you only get out what you put in. If you put in the hard work through the season, you get rewarded with varsity. You know, whether that's in a playing capacity or whether that's in a coaching capacity. It's a great honour to be involved with the event, and players really need to embrace that.
And it shows as well the amount of wealth of upcoming talent there is in this sport.
Absolutely, and you know, right through from the grassroots level, you see the ability of the players coming up through the junior system, and that helps with, you know, the media, with having such a successful team in Sheffield. So all through the country, you know, it is really a growing sport, so that is helping develop some of the players we're seeing out there tonight. I mean, one player, for example, for Sheffield Hallam, Charlie Saunders, he's the son of the Sheffield Steelers former player, Rob Saunders, who played in the early 1990s. So having, you know, his legacy live on through his son, through a huge crowd like this, watching him play tonight, must bring back some memories for Charlie's dad, Rob, and for Charlie to play in such a momentous occasion on the ice what his dad played in. So it really is, you know, a unique sport where you get really interesting facts and anomalies come from it.
And David, going into this third period then with University of Sheffield trailing 4-2, what kind of reaction do you expect from the black and golds?
I think from their perspective it's really important they start early. They get a goal within the sort of first 3 to 4 minutes. If they can do that, the tide of the crowd will change, the momentum of the game will change. What they don't want is for Hallam to score early, because if Hallam score, then sort of it's beginning to become the curtains for them. So it's going to be very interesting to see who scores the first goal in this final period.
And on the flip side of that then, Scott, it's important for Hallam, I'm sure it won't, but the complacency doesn't kick in and they kind of think they've got it all wrapped up.
Absolutely. Hallam, you know, I think they'd be trying to push for another goal, you know, to give them a bit more breathing room. They can't rest on the advantage that they've got. They've got 3 minutes 29 on the power play, so they'll be trying to make the most of that, maybe press on for another goal, and using that in their favour, because Uni of Sheffield will keep fighting. Both teams will give everything. So this period is about who wants it the most. You know, ability will come down to it, but it's the players who push through the paint barrier, through the tightness, through the jelly legs, through the fatigue, and the players who want it the most. And I think heart will be massive in this third period.
They are really going to have to dig deep, aren't they, David? You know, both teams to really, you know, either keep the lead or push on and equalise and go one better, and University of Sheffield come from behind.
Yeah, of course, yeah, they're going to have to dig deep and push hard, and if they don't do that, then they're going to possibly come out of this arena this evening and regret the fact that they could have just given it that little bit more in the final period, both sides. But I also want to ask Scott, what sort of power do the coaches hold in this final period? What sort of changes can they make to ensure that their tactical awareness is reflected on the field?
Yeah, you can do things like line matching, so what you can do, you can ensure that you've got your better players out against the other team's better players, so the first lines against each other. What you could do, you could be slightly crafty, and you can put out your first line against the team's third line, so the less able players will be out against the team's better players. You know, you can change how you forecheck, so that is the pressure you put on the defending team in their zone, so you can change the intensity. You can sit back and absorb, so you can have like a neutral zone neutral zone close down, so essentially you're keeping all the shots, the players to the outside, so you can break it up for a counter-attack. So tactics do play a part in this, and you know, with Hallam being 4-2 up, Uni of Sheffield will be trying to throw the kitchen sink at it, whereas Uni of Sheffield, you know, they need to keep pushing. Hallam may want another goal, and then they could sit back and defend, because if they get another goal, they've got a 3-goal lead, and you know, that will be quite a mountain to overcome. So tactics will play a vital part in this third period.
So quickly then, both of you, what do you think your predictions will be for this third and final period?
I think Uniov will get the first goal in this final period, but I think ultimately Hallam will pull away with it and win the match.
And Scott?
It's tough to say. Like we touched upon earlier, the next goal is vital. I think if Hallam get the next goal, they will, they'll go on to win it. Whereas I think if Uni of Sheffield get the next goal, it's game on.
And both netminders have been in great form as well, haven't they? Just quickly, and that could really prove the difference in this game.
Absolutely, it's battle of the goaltenders. They've been great tonight, and they'll carry on doing so in the third period, I'm sure.
Okay, well, thank you, Scott and David. We are ready to hand over to our commentators, Dan Crosh and Ashton Kirby, who will be bringing you live commentary at the third and final period.
Thank you, Adam. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dan Crosh, joined by Ashton Kirby in our lofty commentary position here in the Ice Hockey Wands. Hallam leads 4-2 as we enter the third period, but Uni do have that power play, don't they, Ashton?
Keep in mind. It's Hallam, isn't it? Who have the power play.
It is. Thank you for reminding me. What are your thoughts so far, since you seem to be keeping up better than me?
Thank you. So far, Hallam seem to be using their power plays perfectly, taking advantage of them, while Uni of Sheffield have failed to do so, and that has led to the 4-2 lead that Hallam have so far.
There was even that time when the University of Sheffield had a power play and Hallam went and scored off that, so at that point it looks as though they might run away with the game, but credit to Uniov, they've got that second goal for them, they're still in it. But as a 4-2 going into the third period, do you think they've got what it takes to bring it back and maybe even win the game? Because as we know, the University of Sheffield have never won in the ice hockey at Varsity.
It's going to be hard with Hallam still having that power play to play for the first 3 minutes, I think. So it's going to be a hard start, but if they can battle through that and keep it at 4-2 and maybe, if they're lucky, get a 4-3.
You are right about that. You are right about the power play. How could I forgot it? It was the incident that saw a 5-minute penalty on number 77, Connor Pike, for there was someone had to come and fix the ice as well. I've never seen anything like that before in ice hockey, but we are ready and raring to go in the third period of Ice Hockey Wands. A reminder that this game is worth a varsity point, as the current overall varsity score is 3-1 to the University of Sheffield. So if Hallam go on and win this, like it looks like they might do at the minute, that sort of brings scores even closer as we head into the boxing tomorrow, and then Easter, the events after Easter. So if Hallam were to win this and maybe even win the boxing, that makes things very interesting going into the main varsity week.
It makes it a great start for them, and makes them carry the momentum over Easter, and hopefully for them, if they can win the next two events, maybe they can continue after Easter as well.
That's very true. We're back underway on the ice as Hallam knock the puck around the back. A shot comes in from number 4. That's Jamie McGrath. And Uniov look to counter up the ice, but Hallam appear to be tidying up well, as they do have that man advantage, as there's just over 3 minutes left on that power play for Hallam, as Hallam looks to come again. Shot comes in, flashed across the net, but Uni look to tidy up as number 3, that's Marks Gerstein, looks to counter, but ultimately the Uniov can't seem to advance up the pitch, but Gerstein is putting pressure on that Hallam backline, as Hallam just seemed content to knock it around. They're 4-2 up, they may as well at this point, but Uni really do need to try and add something to the performances. Gregor James looks to add that bit of pizzazz, but he's lost the puck, and they really need to come out fighting, don't they, Ashton?
Yeah, the game seems to have opened up already. It seems more end-to-end. Sheffield Uni definitely looking to start the game well, but they have to make sure they don't get caught out with their power play.
As just as you say that, Uni have looked to counter as 38. That's Solomon Smith. I believe got an assist in the first period. Looks to and a goal he did as well. What a player he's been tonight. But unfortunately the move breaks down as Hallam look to counter back up the ice with Dominic Martin. He's the captain. He also scored in the second period, I believe. But Hallam, you can really see Hallam finishing this game off as shot comes in, and the captain Dominic Martin can't get a touch in front. But that will be. You see what's been given?
It's the goalkeeper's covered the ball.
He has. It will be just a restart. No need to worry. But yeah, we'd say it's been a good start from Uniov so far in this opening 2 minutes.
they're playing well with the power play still, hammering their team. They've got a good structure at the back, and they've also had a good attack, which unluckily didn't result in a shot, but they played well so far. And Hallam have also come out and had about 2 shots so far, so it's getting competitive. It's going to be exciting.
They did play well. Hallam will be looking to finish this one off. Uni just seem content to clear their lines as Tommy Millman recycles the puck and tries to find another maroon shirt, but it's Uniov who they had the puck. They've just seemed content to clear it upfield. There really needs to be some impetus from this black and gold team, but as Hallam take that ball on the left of the ice as Joe Colton passes to Uniov have taken it, but Joe Colton has managed to win back possession and is played it back safely to Tommy Millman.
I think University of Sheffield are happy to sit back while the power play is happening. They seem to want to counter-attack Hallam, but they don't want to be caught out.
They seem to be keeping the scores as they are. You don't want too much damage limitation because there's still 38 seconds left on that power play for Hallam, as Hallam are looking to get around. Shot comes in and Uniov looking to clear. Joe Colton again involved on the right of the ice as can't quite see. Oh, the captain Dominic Martin has a low shot across the net. As yeah, like you said, Ashton, Uniov just looking to clear their lines, get that puck up. 10 seconds left on this power play. And the University of Sheffield player slips, as there was a really good counter opportunity there, wasn't there, Ashton?
Yeah, they were unlucky there. They had the opportunity to take chance in the final 10 seconds of their power play, but now that power play is over, things are equal now, so it'll be interesting to see how they react and how they play.
As you said, both teams back up to full strength. There's number 39 for University of Sheffield looks to advance. They can't quite find the attack. Temper's fraying a little bit. One of the assistants has to get involved and separate, but nothing too violent like in the second period.
A bit of clashing there, nothing more.
A little bit of clashing, a little bit of a disagreement, but it will be a restart on our near right-hand side as Uniov can really take advantage of this position. They're back to full strength. They're up at this end of the ice. They really need to push on if they want to make it a first ever win for the University in ice hockey. As number 3, that's Max Griestein, I believe. Apologise for my pronunciation. He's got it just near the restart occurred, but Hallam seemed to be winning those challenges a lot better than Uniov. As number 15 for Hallam, that's Matt Unwin, as he's taking it outside. It's goal for Hallam. I believe it was number 15, Matt Unwin. He started the move, and I believe he finished it.
I think it came off a Uni of Sheffield stick there, so I think Uni of Sheffield are very unlucky, but Matt Unwin was definitely there to put on the pressure to force that goal.
Like you said, Uniov had a great opportunity with the restart at the attacking zone, but I was saying, we believe it was Matt Unwin. He won the puck back. He was the one driving Hallam towards their own attacking zone, and we believe it was him who got the final touch. Let's check the jumbotron.
I think
it was a very nice finish.
I think it was said that the next goal could be important, and it'll be interesting to see if Hallam change their structure now to try and keep in the lead and just shut off the game in the final 15 minutes.
And as you can hear behind us, we can confirm we were right. It was number 15, Matt Unwin, who got the 5th goal for Hallam. And that, we did say the next goal would be important. As you compare the scores from last year, Hallam won 4-3. No, they didn't. That was 2016. My apologies, but recent history suggested games have not been too close in the scoreline. So do you reckon this could see Hallam pulling away even further?
Hallam being stronger defensively. Both attacking, they've been quite strong as each other, but it's just Hallam take advantage of the areas they get into, while the Uni of Sheffield have struggled to do so.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Hallam have gone 5-2 up in this Varsity Ice Hockey 1 final, as University of Sheffield try and have shot on target, and someone appears to have lost their helmet.
That's the kind of opportunities I'm talking about. When they get into those areas, they can't seem to finish the puck into the net.
Sorry, it just feels like they're maybe panicking a bit. They just maybe give yourself some time, take the shot on if it's there. But again, it's very quick off the mark, would you say?
Yeah, He seemed to try the wrist flick and try and confuse the goalie, but the goalie seemed to read it well, and it was a great save by Team Hallam.
That's right. A quick restart on this near side. 14 minutes and 32 seconds left in this third period of the ice hockey ones. As the shot comes in from number 7 for Unio. That's Aaron Hudson, bioengineering student. He's only a first year. Imagine if that had gone in. What story to tell. But Hallam do look to be clearing their lines as Unio do win the puck back. But again, they just can't. Hallam outplaying them defensively as a Uni player falls to the ground. He's appealing to the ref. We're not quite sure what for. Play has stopped.
Was that too much roughing now? Or?
I'm not sure. It could be roughing, but the assistant is having a word with one of the Hallam players. We can't quite see who it is, but it did look like an infringement as a Hallam player is making his way to the penalty box. So that will put the University of Sheffield in a great position with the current score of 5-2 to Hallam. The player in question, number 49, Ross Gallagher. He's 19 and I believe he's an accounting student. He didn't add up all the facts there when he went in for that challenge, as he will be forced to serve a 2-minute penalty as we listen to the announcer.
This opens the game up again with the power play.
Tripping. Did you have that?
Sheffield Uni seemed to be more aggressive after their goal.
Like you say, what perfect timing.
I'll take credit for that one.
The University of Sheffield have taken that advantage on the power play and scored a third goal. They quickly seized upon that. There's only been 20 seconds of that power play, but the University of Sheffield, he held up one challenge. He looks to be off balance as he shot, and I believe that's number 9 for University of Sheffield, just getting the final touch.
I believe so.
If it is number 9, I don't have a number 9 on my sheet, so we'll have to wait and confirm who actually scored that. But what a great opportunity for University of Sheffield.
Yeah, they won the penalty for roughing in the corner and came out strong as soon as the face-off had been taken, and played well, and was a lovely finish with a slapstick finish by number 9.
It was a good finish. There's a low shot comes in from Uni, but that makes the score Hallam 5, Uni 3 with 13 minutes and 30 seconds left on this third period. The goal was scored by number 11, Gareth Pearl, 21. He's played ice hockey for several years. That's his experience showing in that very nice finish. Solomon Smith, another assist for Solomon Smith.
He's definitely been the Union's man of the match so far.
Obviously, he's definitely your man of the match so far.
Only for Union, but
absolutely.
For Hallam, it would probably be Callum Sanders, who's got 2 goals so far.
Like you said, both teams are playing very well as Union look to knock the puck around their defensive area. And number 48, Hallam has seized upon a mistake, but Union clear it up the ice. And are now in a great opportunity. Like I said, 12 minutes, 50 seconds left in the third period. You would hope as a neutral you'd want more goals, but especially for these Union fans, they've never seen their team win an ice hockey, and there's probably no better time to try and achieve that, as low shot comes in from Hallam from the right. Uni look to clear it out, but Hallam are fairly comfortable on the puck. They just look to knock it around, but Uni really need to get going. They've only got 12 minutes and 23 seconds left of this third period to try and get those 2 goals.
It's interesting to see that Hallam aren't holding back, even though they're suffering from the man down. They've come out strong again and continue to attack.
Yeah, it looks like they've probably learned from past experiences, and especially in the earlier periods of this game, not to count on your laurels. You never know how quick the game can change. And that penalty to Hallam has shown a way back for the University of Sheffield. But Hallam, like you say, are not resting on the laurels. There's a low cross comes in. Hallam take it behind the net. Uni don't clear it, but they've cleared it straight back to the Hallam defensive line as number 14 looks to recycle. That's Emrys Sharples Farage, if I do apologise, Emrys. But the clearance goes straight back to the Union player, who absolutely launches the puck towards the Hallam defensive zone. It's been a good start to this third period, hasn't it, Aston?
It was a great start so far. It's been entertaining. Have we had 2 goals so far? in this period?
I believe we have had 2.
Yeah, so it's been a good period so far. Hallam looked the stronger side, were unlucky to concede under the power play, but it's opened up, and I think we're in for a good rest of the period.
So that shot comes in from Hallam, number 27, Jake Renzi, looking to extend that Hallam lead as there's 11 minutes, 19 seconds left in the 3rd period. Uniov changing several players as they really need to try and advance towards that Hallam defensive goal if they've got any hope of getting anything from this Varsity Ones match. A reminder that you can catch all the Varsity action on forgetoday.com/varsity, where all the result from tonight will be posted along with all of our coverage following Easter. But we've got plenty of time left to go in this Ice Hockey Ones as Uniov look to counter. It's out on the right, number 16, John Corley. He's the 2nd year. Maybe he can, he's also a lawyer, maybe he can tease something up. As the puck has left the ice, it's gone flying. We've had a great
shot there from Hallam.
We've had a great period. Maybe that shot wasn't the best, but at least we're adding to the entertainment value of this 3rd period. So someone needs to find a replacement puck, and while they do that, they will restart on our near side, left-hand side, in front of the Uniov fans, who are really getting pumped up for this, aren't they, Austin?
Yes. After they score, the momentum's definitely with the Uniov. Hallam seemed to go a bit quiet, but then died out. They're still very loud.
They're really the noise you can hear is there's goal for Hallam.
Commentator's curse.
Commentator's curse. We are paying attention, we promise, but that is a 6th goal for Hallam University, and we've been saying all period that Uniov really need to seize upon. They get the goal, they get the power play, they score, and then they concede again. It's not what they need to be doing, is it, Ashton?
They had the momentum, they had the crowd, they had the support, but they just couldn't finish it off once more. They couldn't take advantage of their power play. They lost the penalty just there and lost the face-off, and Hallam were able to take advantage again.
I would say they're not taking the momentum they're getting from these power plays and goals, and just take it and go with it. You know, it's Varsity. Try and do your best. You always do your best, but there's never a better time to try and get something.
Yeah, Hallam definitely have a little bit more oomph.
Hallam do have that oomph. That oomph translates into a 6-3 lead for Hallam in this Ice Hockey Ones. Comparison to previous years, this would be one of the largest margins of victory for Hallam University if the scores stay this way. Let's just confirm who the goal scorer was as we said, our commentator's curse struck, as we said. But yeah, in previous years, 2016 Hallam won 4-3, 2015 Hallam won 2-1. 2014, Hallam won 5-2. They're not massive leads over Uniov, but now we'll see who has scored that sick Hallam goal as the face-off continues. That's Charlie Saunders, if you can hear behind us, who scored.
That's the 2nd goal, and he's also got an assist.
What a great game he's having. Assisted by Joe Colton. I believe he's had a good game as well, hasn't he, Aston?
Definitely had a great game.
As Hallam win the restart. The puck's gone out to this near side as Uniov look to clear it upfield, and they now need a minimum of 3 goals to get anything out of this and get any Varsity points on the black and gold column. But at the rate it's going, you don't really see that going. The Uniov look to play their way out from the defensive zone. A shot comes in from Hallam. It's a high shot, nothing troubling for the goaltender as Uniov look to push out again. Oh, very good skill that gets the Uni fans on their feet from number 3. That's Max Greenstein. He's played ice hockey for 16 years, and you could tell in that little bit of trickery. But again, Uniov trying to go upfield. They've lost the puck again. Up the ice. We're not as Nathan Dorman wins it back for Hallam in their defensive zone as Hallam make 2 changes. On comes number 14 and number 58 as they look to shore up their 6-3 lead. But it's Uniov on the attack once again through number 38, there's a bit of a coming together. Number 38 for Uni, that's Solomon Smith. As we say, he's been very influential. He's appealing to the referee for what looked like an infringement there. Shot comes in from Hallam and the goaltender gets a glove on it.
Solomon Smith just got misconduct penalty. He's had to go off for 2 minutes. That's right. Down a power play.
That's right. Nice spotting.
For over-appealing.
I mean, at 6-3 down, you think you want to appeal for everything and get, but you've got to remember, keep your head, guys. It's a big spectacle. And at 6-3 down with 9 minutes and 8 seconds left, there is a brief pause as Solomon Smith's penalty. I believe it is Solomon Smith, isn't it?
It was unlucky for him, to be honest. He obviously he played it lovely through his legs, and then what I seen was he did get fouled, but the referee thought differently. And Solomon Smith, as you would be angry at 6-3 down, got up, argued, and obviously got the misconduct penalty.
Yeah, that's right. And as we know, the referee's word is gospel in ice hockey and indeed most sports. But it looks like he'll be sitting out what we believe is a 2-minute penalty, which translates into another power play for Hallam University. And if we've seen what they've done so far with these power plays, they're looking to take advantage, aren't they, Ashton?
I wouldn't be surprised if they scored again, to be honest. They've been playing well with the equal teams, and they've done brilliantly on power play. I think they scored 4 of their goals during the power play, so I wouldn't be surprised if they got another one.
And if you couldn't quite hear that behind us, we believe that is a 10-minute misconduct penalty, or was it 2 minutes? I couldn't quite hear. Whatever. It's power play to Hallam. Solomon Smith is serving a penalty in the box. We believe it's 10. Well, we heard 10 minutes. We're not entirely sure, but again, this will only help Hallam in the grasp on this game. As number 9 for Hallam, we believe that's the captain, Dominic Martin. He's really up for adding some more goals to this 6-3 scoreline in the Varsity Ice Hockey ones. University of Sheffield not entirely out of this, but they have got that penalty, so that's not going to help them in any way. But they're not winning the battles. They're not winning the 50-50s, are they, Ashton? I mean, as I say that, they've played a very nice pass out to the right. Shot comes in, and it's saved by the goaltender for Hallam, number 68. I think it's Nathaniel Bell. We'll say he's not had much work to do, but there has been 9 goals in this game, so certainly one for neutral. Shot comes in from Hallam and saved by the Uniov goaltender. Like I say, for the neutrals at least, it's been a very good game of ice hockey, hasn't it?
It's been a great day. You've seen high quality goals. I think one of the Hallam's third goal was great with the use of the back of his stick to flick it over the goal. It's not something that you see a lot in ice hockey, so they've been very lucky today, the crowd.
Oh, unlucky for Hallam as they go in search of a 7th. We believe it came off the post or just wide of the goal from, can't quite see his shirt number, I believe it's number 91, Gabriel Griswolfs. Apologies, I cannot pronounce for my pronunciation, but his shot was just wide as Uniov are pinned back in their defensive zone as they look to carry the puck up towards the Hallam defensive zone. Shot comes in from Hallam and it's spilled by the goaltender for Uniov as Hallam look to recycle with number 27. That's Jake Renzi, but Uniov look to counter. They're down our near side, and the Uniov player's taken out. They can't quite find a teammate as Hallam look to pass the puck back onto that far side. 6 minutes 52 seconds to go in this third period. Hallam leads 6-3 against the University of Sheffield, as they look comfortable, don't they, Ashton? It's got to be said.
Hallam definitely look comfortable. Sheffield just need to have a go at it now. They've got nothing to lose. They might as well just throw everybody forward and try and get another point.
They have got nothing to lose, but I think as Hallam have experienced in this game, Uniov seems to come back into it, but then Hallam reassert their lead and dominance over the game, you'd say. But it does, at this point, with around 6 minutes to go, it does look as though it will be a Hallam victory in ice hockey ones, which, based on historic results at least, if you're a betting man, you wouldn't bet against that, would you?
Yeah, it seems to be maybe like a similar picture to last year, where Sheffield came back twice, but Hallam ran away with it, and they seem to be doing that today. They've got control of it. Sheffield University struggling to get out their own defending third, and they just can't take their chances in the attacker's area.
Shot comes in from Hallam. That was a bad miss by all accounts for the team that scored 6 goals tonight. That was the captain again, Dominic Martin, who he was one-on-one. He was literally up against the face of the goalkeeper. He just had to plant it somewhere past him, but he didn't quite manage to do that. And as of such, it remains 6-3. 5 minutes 35 seconds remain on this third period, as Hallam again looks counter as they've got 3-on-2. As across the face of the goal, and Uni off clear, but it's untidy from Uni on us. Hallam's number 19, that's Joel Colton. He recycles on that far side. He's taking it around the back of the net. He's always coming together with one of the Uni off players as Uni off sees on that advantage to clear it, but only as far as the neutral zone near the assistant referee on that far side. But eventually they clear it way past up into the Hallam defensive zone behind their rear net. As number 3 for Uni of Sheffield, that's Mark Gerstein. He's on the puck, but he's lost it to one of his teammates. But Uni of aren't really, they do have that penalty, Ashton, but even with that whole varsity gun-ho attitude, they're just not making chances, are they?
I think with that penalty, it's unlucky for them because they've taken out their best player in Solomon Smith. He's been the biggest threat, he's been the best finisher for University of Sheffield. But this is a great chance here. Yeah, again, they've not taken advantage.
Although, as you said that, number 3, Mark Gerstein, we mentioned it a couple of times this evening, he goes on a great bit of play around the back of the Hallam net and just can't take the shot. Some would say he should have taken the shot. As Hallam take a shot of their own at the opposite end by number 20. That's Nathan Dorian, I believe. And the keeper got a goal, and it will be a face-off as both teams take this opportunity to make some changes. Going back to the Solomon Smith penalty, I believe we did hear correctly. It was 10 minutes because we've played at least 2 minutes, and he's still in the penalty box, isn't he?
Yeah, which means it's game over for him because he got it on the 8th minute. So it's unfortunate for Uni of Sheffield because he's definitely been their best player, their biggest threat, and I think he's come up with a few, was it 2 goals and maybe an assist today? So the threat for University of Sheffield has maybe disappeared for them. I can't see them coming back now, unfortunately.
He's definitely been an influential player for this black and gold team, that's safe to say, as Uni of are in this Hallam attacking zone, but it's been handed out by 2 Hallam players as there's 3 minutes 51 seconds left in the third period. Hallam seem to be cruising to their 2nd varsity point overall as shot comes in, and it's another Hallam goal. Just as we were saying, curse of the comet, if it goes one way, it's gone the other way. Hallam have a 7th goal. Ashton, what did you make?
Again, they've taken the advantage from the penalty, used it brilliantly. It's a lovely finish there. It's in the air. They just patted it down into the goal, past the goalkeeper. Nothing the goalkeeper could have done there. Just another great finish from Team Hallam, who again taking advantage.
Yeah, and as we've been mentioning, Hallam do have that man advantage, but even so, University of Sheffield didn't clear their lines, and it wasn't a simple tap-in, but it was an in-the-air shot straight past the Uni goaltender, and it's becoming embarrassing at this point for well, that's unfair, I'd say. Both teams have played some good ice hockey, but at this point, Hallam are just dominating, as they seem to always do, but even more so in this game, with the chances Uni of have had. You think they try and get something. Maybe this could be the year, but that 7th goal just goes to show that Hallam are not letting anything slip, are they, Ashton?
The University of Sheffield fans seem to realise that, and they seem to be leaving now. But yeah, Hallam have had a great game. They've had a beautiful game. Played some lovely ice hockey and deserve the 7-3 lead at the moment.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it is emptying out below us in the Uni side of the Fly DSA Arena here in Sheffield. To be fair, both sets of fans seem to be leaving. They think the game's all over. It's never over till it's over, as someone once said. But, you know, it's one of the biggest events of varsity. I don't know why you'd leave so early, but maybe if you're a Uni of fan and you've seen this, maybe you've had enough, as Uni of look to counter. Come on, guys, it's not over. And that's number 3. We've mentioned him a lot, Max Gernstern. He's trying to take it on himself, but unfortunately, there's no one in that could go. And we've just been informed in our ears that the goal was disallowed, so it remains 6-3, which kind of negates most of what we've said about that goal, doesn't it, Ashton?
Yeah, we'll have to write that one off.
Yeah, but
again, it does show, even though it's disallowed, it does show Hallam still played well to get into that position, and they definitely took advantage still, even though it was disallowed.
Yeah, I did wonder why the Jumbotron hadn't trained, but that's just my fault for not paying attention. But thank you, Dom Jolly, for the ear being in my ear. But even so, Hallam could hold a 6-3 lead with 1 minute 54 seconds left on the third period of the Varsity Ice Hockey Mixed Ones 2018 as Hallam go in search of a genuine 7. It's the captain, flashed in by number 9 for Hallam. We've mentioned him a lot this evening, Dominic Martin. He wants another goal. Why wouldn't you? A captain's performance. Another shot flashed in from just beyond the blue line in the Uni defensive zone, as Hallam are quite content to knock the puck around. Number 48, Cameron Gosry has a low shot in. I believe the keeper got a hand on it, and we will have a face-off with 1 minute 23 seconds left in the third period, and both teams taking this opportunity to make some changes. Would you have said, Ashton, that if the University of Sheffield were really going to go all out for it, they've left it way too late if they do try and do anything now?
Well, because of that disallowed goal, they've been let kind of back into it. They get another one, it's not too late maybe to get a few more, but I don't think they can get 6. Any goal that comes now for the University of Sheffield is going to be one for their spirits, really, nothing more.
University of Sheffield
still pounding the goal.
University of Sheffield have won that face-off, but Hallam seemed to take back possession relatively easily as another shot was flashed in from distance as the keeper got a hand on it. It will be another face-off in exactly the same position. You think that Hallam are well and truly in control of this game and will be taking home a second varsity point, which would make the overall varsity score 3-2, as you can keep up to date with all the action that has unfolded or will continue to happen on forgetoday.com/varsity. As another shot in from Hallam, just throwing in a little bit of confrontation as the assistants skate in to break it up. But you know, you 6-3 up, don't start anything now. Come on, guys, be professionals. But it will be another face-off on that near left side area, as there's 1 minute and 7 seconds left in this third period, as Uniof really need to try and get something, maybe another goal to send their fans home happy, but it's Hallam who win the face-off, and number 20 for Hallam, that's Nathan Dorian. He tries to play a little back pass to one of his teammates in maroon and white, but no one can find it, as the University of Sheffield, once again, as they have done for a lot of times since the third period, just clear the puck up towards the Hallam defensive zone just to get it out of their hair, as there's a little coming together between number 48 for Hallam, that's Ross Gallagher, and I didn't quite see the Uniof player, apologies, but Ross Gallagher takes the shot and it's saved as Uniof try and clear the lines. It goes out to that far side. Hallam will recycle, puck comes in, and that's terrible defending from Uniof as number 20 for Hallam, Nathan Dorian, tries to get the shot. Flashed in from afar by number 4 for Hallam, that's Jamie McGrath. I believe he's a second-year business student. There's no monkey business from him, so to speak, on this Varsity Mixed Ones performance. As Uni take an optimistic shot from distance, it's never going to trouble the Hallam goaltender, as Hallam are very content to knock it around, as their fans are fully embracing this. And that's the end of the game. My apologies, I wasn't looking, but that is it. The Hallam University have won the Ice Hockey Ones 2018 as their unbeaten streak continues. I believe that's 13 in 13 with a 6-3 victory over University of Sheffield. It could have been more, Ashton, with that disallowed goal, but let's be honest, Hallam deserved the win, don't they?
Hallam definitely deserved that win. They played some great ice hockey. They forced the Uniof struggled to get out of their defending zone, and Hallam just kept them in there. And when they had the power plays, they took advantage of them and finished them off with goals. They're unlucky to get more at the end, but Uniof Sheffield definitely wanted to keep it at 6-3 and not cause an embarrassment.
You're right, they are unlucky, but it has been a great game of ice hockey for both sets of fans, and especially the neutrals. I want to say Hallam have won 6-3, which takes home their second point of Varsity 2018, as the current score makes 3-2, with the University of Sheffield led 3-1 after Winter Varsity in the Alps. But with this second point, it now makes the score 3-2 as we go into the final pre-Easter event of Varsity, which is the Varsity Boxing, which you can catch live from the Octagon on Forge TV and Forge Radio tomorrow from around 7 in the evening. It's going to be a great opportunity for Hallam to make the overall varsity score level, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what they're hoping for. They don't want to go into the Easter break 3 or 4-2 down. They want to make it level and make it interesting for the after Easter competitions.
That's absolutely right, because the momentum and mindset of going into what is 3 weeks off before any more varsity action with the scores level, it really gives Hallam the impetus to go on and seize a first varsity win since several years ago. It's been at least 5 years that I know, but you can keep right up to date with all the action on forcetoday.com/varsity, as we will be covering all the big days. Hallam Sports Pod, EIS Day, Abbeydale with the hockey, the finals day. Can't wait for finals day. It's always a great day. You never know where that winning point's going to come from and who gets that winning point, because as we've said, Hallam haven't won varsity for several years now, so it will be interesting to see what happens over the course of the next couple of weeks. But we will now hand over to Adam May.
Thank you very much, Dan. So that's finished Team Hallam 6, University of Sheffield 3, as Hallam takes the points at the Fly DSA Arena. Now, Scott, that was a great game of ice hockey, wasn't it? Plenty of quality, and Team Hallam edging it there in the end.
Yeah, it was a great game. 3 exciting, enthralling 20 minutes of ice hockey action here at the Fly DSA Arena. Action-packed from the start to finish, and as we mentioned, special teams were vital. That 5-minute penalty on Connor Pike was essential. Hallam benefited from a couple of goals on the power play. But a great spectacle tonight. Lots of fans in attendance. Both teams, both fans will go home happy to an extent after a great spectacle. But a good win for Hallam in the end. You've got to give credit where it's due, and it was a good game.
And Hallam really benefited from that power play, didn't they? They didn't let University rest, and they took advantage of that, which we alluded to during the break in the period, that might be the case.
Absolutely. Special teams are vital, and a couple of goals from Dominic Martin, who we'll be speaking to in a minute, the captain of Hallam, and he really led them from the front and did a great job for them.
Okay, so we're going to be joined by Dominic Martin, the captain of Team Hallam. Now, Dominic, a great atmosphere. What was it like to play in that tonight?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as every year. Same as every year. It's really intense. The first 5-10 minutes you can't hear yourself think. So mainly just get through those first 10 minutes and then kind of go from there. But really good atmosphere as always.
And Team Hallam again continuing their excellent record in the varsity now.
Yeah, pardon?
And Team Hallam, continuing their excellent form in this particular event.
I can't hear.
You said Team Hallam continuing their excellent form in the event. Undefeated, another 6-3 win, much like last year.
Yeah, exactly. I think every year we always get a few players in, so I think it's mainly the older players teaching the younger ones, and yeah, so I think it's basically just a whole learning process every year. People take on every year, but we keep learning, keep developing.
And how important is it then that the experienced players, help those younger ones who's it's at first?
Yeah, I remember in my first year, first 10 minutes, my legs were jelly. You're so nervous. You're not used to playing in front of this many people, so you're just constantly on edge. But the older players, you've got to kind of coach them through it. Say at the end of the day, it's just a hockey game. You win a hockey game the same way, no matter how many people you're playing in front of.
Your line out there, you play together at Sutton Sting. Yeah. How important is that for chemistry to play with Joe and to play with Charlie Saunders all on the same line again tonight?
Yeah, we play 38 games a season together, so that kind of chemistry comes in really important all the time. But it gets to the point where it's just telepathic. We know where each other are. We're picking passes without looking. I think we got quite a few goals today from that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you. Enjoy your night. Thank you. So a real insight there into the demands that this event takes, on toll on the body. With these fans, we spoke to it a bit during the game, that it's really important that they don't let that kind of adrenaline, hinder them, and really use advantage of that.
Absolutely. The adrenaline, the intensity, it can even make or break you. Some players thrive from that intensity and energy. Some players really kind of bottle under the pressure. So it's all about how you respond, how mentally aware you are, and to use it to your advantage. And both teams did that well tonight.
Okay, so we're about to be joined now by University of Sheffield player, who's to talk us through, what the event was like for him. So a tough defeat to take, and a great win for Hallam.
They win every year. We came close this year. That was the first time in a long while that we've drawn in the first period. We had a chat in the changing room saying that we wanted to come out of that first period strong, and we did that. We just got taken apart by the power play a bit there. They had 3 power plays in the second period, scored on all 3. and it was difficult to come back from that.
And what was it like then to play in this? What was it like to play in this kind of atmosphere with so many fans backing you?
Oh, obviously the crowd's excellent. You know, I played last year, and it's just as loud every year. Even with it being the opening event this year, but I think it's got Varsity off to a good start. You know, the crowd's awesome, and it really gives you more energy when your legs are tired. You know, you hear that crowd and you're back into it.
Both netminders, Callum Stevenson, Nathaniel Bell, playing excellently throughout the game. How important is it, building from the back, having two solid netminders, both for your team and against you?
Well, Cal's been playing with the A team this year, Nathaniel's been with the C team, but they both had excellent seasons coming into this. Nathaniel played up for one of the hardest games of the year for the A's, and he's shown that he's really good. You know, it's important to have that basis so that when you know that you're going to make mistakes in a game like this, and it's important to know that that guy's got your back. If you let someone slip through, it gives the whole team confidence.
Great, thank you, and well played today.
Great, thank you very much.
So we're soon to be joined by a Team Hallam player now after their 6-3 victory here at the Fly DSA Arena, as the Varsity score is now 3-2 in favour of the University of Sheffield.
Joined by Charlie Saunders. Charlie, what is it like, your first Varsity, playing in an event like this, the ice, what your father played on for the Steelers? How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels amazing. Just score a goal really, feels amazing, yeah.
Yeah, so a couple of big goals tonight. You're playing on the line with teammates at teammates for Sutton, Don Martin, Joey Colton. How important is it to have two teammates you're familiar with to play on the ice with tonight?
Yeah, got a lot of chemistry out there. We know how each other play. I think it showed tonight with the goals we scored.
And local bragging rights again for Team Hallam in this Varsity event.
Yeah, can't wait till next year.
And what was it like then to play in front of this huge crowd? You know, it must be really beneficial to you all, give you all that extra lift.
Yeah, sure. At first it is intimidating. It is loud. You can't hear yourself think. Never mind, you know.
Yeah. So I'm guessing a few beers tonight for Hallam and a few sore heads in the morning.
Yeah, I'll have one or two. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us and enjoy.
Great, thank you. So that's the end of our coverage here on Forge TV and Forge Radio of the ice hockey here at the Fly DSA Arena. It's finished Team Hallam 6, University of Sheffield 3, as the Varsity score is now University of Sheffield 3 and Team Hallam 2. Thank you for joining us here on Forge Sport, Forge Radio and Forge TV. Have a great evening and see you for the rest of the competition.